Transition! I need to turn on BGM. I also need to turn on disco audio. Okay. Welcome! Hello, everyone!
Hi.
Yuno-chan,
Hello.
how is the volume for Yuno-chan, everyone? Let me know.
I pretty much always need to be turned up, so don't be afraid to say that I'm too quiet. This always happens.
Mic check 1, 2, 20. Nope, I won't say it.
She resisted the urge.
No, seriously. I was looking at some like chat thread, and everyone else has an emote for that number combination. I'm like, should I get one too?
The minute the emote's finished, the meme's gonna be dead. It's already kind of dying. You can't do it.
All of the old people are in on it now, but we're already starting strong. Welcome everyone. Hello on Twitter. Twitter? Hello on Twitter.
Are you streaming on Twitter?
No, I'm not. Oops. Hello, Twitch and YouTube. Let me do my quick welcome everyone who has pressed the button. Destroyer, Warfare, JV, Kudo, Willie, Yuno-chan, Peter, and I didn't do it myself. Oh, gasp, and myself. Welcome. How is everyone? We're doing a fun content creation Zatsu stream today. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop it in the comment boxes. But otherwise, I'm very excited to have Yuno-chan here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. We haven't done a one-on-one collab, I think, in
maybe a
ever.
Year. Why don't you do like a quick little intro first, and then we can dive in.
Yeah, okay. Ohanaki, did you know that our souls are connected by fate? Did you know that?
Did you know?
Well, what do you know? I mean, Ohanaki, the one and only Aran of Mialoon.
Let's go.
I'm a variety streamer. I do many things. Content, yes.
Yes.
I'm familiar.
Many things. Chima, welcome. Let's see. I guess I don't need to introduce myself. Har.
Can you please? Don't leave me hanging.
I am Felynne deRouge. Cat extraordinaire.
Yeah. Cat extraordinaire. Yeah. Exactly.
Cat extraordinaire. I like making content.
That's good.
I mean, it's a good start. I mean, if I didn't want to make content, we wouldn't be here today. So, content creation. This is a very like generalized. I mean, for sure we're gonna deep dive into like our strengths and stuff too. But in general, content creation as a whole, Chad, what would you say like your bulk of content creation like experience comes from? Like
that's tough. I've been low-key, I mean, I haven't exposed the ancient texts, but I've been making content online kind of for like over a decade.
Ooh.
So I've done a lot. I think the majority of what I would be known for obviously now would be streaming. But I've dabbled in a lot of stuff. I had like a voice acting fan dubbing phase. That was like where I started. And then switched to doing primarily like song covers and like music stuff. And then VTubing happened around the time of the Panini. And then that's and now I'm here after experiences.
That's interesting that you start off with like the dubbing community, right? Like, would you say you've gone?
Yes.
Like, you came through like anime, or like
Games at first.
Games.
One of the first projects that I auditioned for was for a fan dub of a movie based off of a game that I liked.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I actually got the part. That's the crazy thing.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
Yeah, I was actually like trying to avoid anything that's too identifying and too many like names of projects, obviously, because some of it can still be found online. You can find the relics. I'm not gonna let you find the trail though. I'm coughing all over it. You can't find it. But yeah, I ended up having a little bit of like a prolific presence in the fandoming space when I started, and I started really young. So I was like one of the youngest ones doing it at the time too, which is crazy to look back on and think about. Why were they letting me in?
Well,
How'd I get in there?
I feel like most of these, like casting calls, if you will, like I don't know, from my experience, like they don't generally ask like what's your age. It's more like,
yeah, they
can
really
you
don't
voice act this type of character, or like this age of character.
Especially when I started, it was more so just about like the acting side of it, I guess, and more about just like if your voice tone fit what the people were looking for. Especially for fan dubs, they kind of want you to sound close to the original if they can. And I managed to have a pretty good, not like impression or impersonation, but I just had the right tone for the character that they were looking for. And then it became like a whole group that I was like associated with, and we did a bunch of projects together that I kept getting cast in. So yeah.
Heck yeah. Would you say like most of your experience then with like voicing things comes from that, or did you have prior like school experiences in anything
no
related?
School experiences, but I used to play games with my friends and we would turn the voices off to dub over them together to be silly.
That's so cute.
And then there was one time where there was a serious scene and I was able to sound like I was crying, and they all looked back at me because they thought I was actually tearing up, but I wasn't. I was just acting.
Wow, nice. Oh my god.
So then they were like, you need to do this as a career, you know, Hanaki, you're kind of good at it. And I was like, okay. Really? Wow. Okay.
And then you discovered the internet.
Yeah, and then I discovered the internet, and I was like, oh, wow, this lets me go from being isolated in Onigashima to actually getting connections and doing stuff. I should use this.
I mean, that's kind of similar. Like, my route is Japanese idols. One day, I just, like, scrolled on the internet, and then came up upon a picture of a J-pop group, and I was like, wow, so pretty. It was dude. But I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. And then that's how I discovered like J-pop in general, I think. And then I realized that there were groups that like the fan dubbing, but like cover dubbing, song dubbing.
Yeah. So you started more in like cover production stuff too then, I guess. Primarily with like group projects.
Yeah, pretty much. It's similar to fan dubs where they're looking for particular people that sound similar to the idol.
Yeah.
And then you would audition basically like a very, very similar manner, and then if you sounded very close to someone, then you're basically typecasted for like that type of singing voice, I'd say. And I mean, I don't think I really sounded like anyone per se in J-pop, so I usually got the really small parts. Because like when you look at color codes for like not like VTuber song covers and stuff, but like J-pop groups are very, very how do you say it? The line distribution is not.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
It's either like one or two people sing most of the song, and then the supporting cast. That's how it is.
Yeah.
If you don't sound like the main character, then you're just like thrown into the pile of like, I'll just choose a random one for you. So, but that was still pretty fun just getting the chance to make stuff with people online was really cool as a concept for me.
Yeah, I felt the same way about the voice acting stuff. It was cool to just hear my voice with other people's.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, to this day, I still have some friends from like the OG fandoms and stuff that I still chat with.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
kinda
I'm still
cool.
friends with some of the voice acting ones. I was invited to their wedding over the internet, and I was just like, that's crazy.
Oh, that's so cool. No, I've heard some of these people, not their weddings and stuff, but they do share some like slice of life updates and things, and we're pretty supportive. So, yeah, it's kind of cool getting into like our first, I guess, passion projects and stuff. How would you say like you got into VTubing? Like, when was like the moment that you said I should try VTubing myself? Type of deal.
It's tough. When I first heard about VTubing, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I kind of didn't really think much of it. It was like before the really big boom. So it was like your Kizuna eyes. I think I found Kizuna Eye because I watched her go crazy scouting for Nico in School Idol Festival. I think those were the first Kizuna Eye videos I watched. I didn't really watch much else from her besides that. And so I kind of vaguely knew what a VTuber was, but I didn't really think about them beyond that. And then when the boom happened, I started seeing people in like various online communities that I was in kind of like ditch what they were doing to go be a VTuber.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the Great Migration.
Everybody's leaving. What do I do? I don't want to have to make new friends. And then I went through something kind of like, I don't know how many details I want to share about it, but I got my heart broken, low key, high key. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to become a VTuber out of spite. Because I think that if I can do this and if I pop off, then it will make up for the pain that I've suffered. And so I went to a friend and I was like, hi, can VTuber please? Can have VTuber please?
Heck
and then that's how that happened.
That's cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think Kizuna, I didn't really consider her as like a VTuber. Because, like, she primarily did, like, well, I mean, VTuber as in, like, virtual YouTuber, but the term we know it as, like, today is a little bit different from back then, I guess. Like, I've heard about her making YouTube videos, but I didn't really associate her with, like, the streaming.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's because
ecosystem.
VTuber originated from stuff like what Kizuna Eye did, which was the edited videos using the model.
Right.
And then it kind of became more about streaming when the big agencies were like, yeah, you can make money from YouTube, but what if you did it live? What if you did it for 24 hours and also forever?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, mostly agencies, even back then, yeah, they're looking for like live streamers. Like every time someone's like, do you want to be a VTuber? It's always like, do you want to be a streamer with a virtual avatar? It's
yeah,
very,
I don't think anyone
hard.
thinks about the video side of it anymore.
Yeah, because I would say like my current content spread is, I mean, now it's kind of 50-50 because I am streaming a little bit more, but generally I want to at least upload a long form video, whether it's like scripted or edited or something, every 2 weeks. And then now I'm also doing shorts like 5 days in a row. So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like VTubing, like a la Kizuna Eye style, is just like it's a method of presentation more than like a thing.
it's not a genre, it's a medium. I feel like there's starting to be more of a shift back to people realizing you don't have to do the streaming thing in order to be seen as a VTuber. I do think that there are still some people who get a little frustrated by the fact that the word VTuber implies that you're making stuff on YouTube specifically, but then you have a lot of VTubers who like most of their content's on Twitch.
Right.
Would you then call them a VTwitcher? You can start getting into the weeds of like, what do you call people who make content on this platform more than this? Not to mention the whole like VTweeter debacle of like people who mostly just make content on Twitter because they're not ready to debut yet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a V-kicker.
Not a V-kicker. Don't kick the VTuber.
But like, I don't know. I am quite on the camp. Like, if you are a V-tweeter, like, if you have some sort of presence online, whether you could be a Vinstagrammer too, like.
Vinstagram.
Like, I mean, like, I don't think that's completely wrong, because, like, I would consider them, like, a VTuber. I would consider them as, like, a content creator of some sort.
Yeah. I think that's the bigger thing. I think we kind of have to start accepting being called content creators or, God forbid, influencers.
Or you could say like, was it KOL in China? They call influencers key opinion leaders. There you go.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
They don't call them influencers. They have to be fancy.
Key opinion leader. Yeah, okay, buddy.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity to test this medium outside of what is like commonly known. I try to promote that all the time. Oh. What's the fine line between a VTuber and superhero identity? I mean, is it really a superhero identity? Some people treat VTubing as just like a sort of medium where sometimes they use a virtual avatar, sometimes they use their real face. They still call themselves a VTuber content creator, I guess. Just like content creator generally.
I guess my argument would be, how much good are you doing as the VTuber? Like, do you primarily VTube with the intention of, like, giving all your earnings to charity, for example? Like, imagine you had another job and then anything you make through VTubing you just donate. Versus, like,
nice.
The kind of content that you make. Like, if you are trying to make think pieces, like, maybe I would say a VTuber that's more of a, like, video essayist, and that they're, like, well-researched, like, super in-depth video topics that are intending to like to educate or to influence, but maybe in a more altruistic way, I guess. Because most people, when you think of like an influencer, or if you think of a VTuber, sometimes you just kind of think of someone who's like wants to be famous but doesn't want to show their face. Which is also totally valid. I'm not saying that's bad, but I think if we were going to call it like a superhero identity, I think there would have to be some sort of implication that they're making the content with like goals of like something more altruistic, like education, or in order to like do good among their like, community.
The Hank Green.
The Hank Green of VTubers. Where is he?
But like, yeah, that's like what I would think. Yeah, in order to be classified as like a superhero sort of thing. I don't know. Because I think it's earlier today that I came across someone's like, oh, how much flesh showing? This sounds so weird. How much flesh showing?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Would you be open to before it no longer becomes like VTuber in brackets? Before
it's considered like too immersion breaking or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I am of the thought that I don't really want to do any sort of like flesh posting. Like, I also like refuse to do hand cams because I don't really think that showing my hands would like really add anything to my content personally. And I also just think it's more fun to think of the anime girl with the anime hands versus anything else with no flesh hands. Even if I wore gloves, I think I'd still feel weird about it because I'm just like, I don't want like my like physical presence to be associated with the anime girl. But that's just my opinion. I think anyone else who makes the choice to show skin or flesh or whatever, I think that's like their choice.
Yeah. Because I've always tried to consider like what ways could I make the hand cam screens and things more immersive, like in like on brand kind of deal. So I have bought some supplies and things like fabrics and things. I just haven't gotten time to work on it where because actually maybe I should roll back a little bit. I've been looking for someone to commission just the sleeve parts of my character so that I could use it for hand cams. This has been such a sad journey I've gone through, like maybe almost a year or so, just trying to get different people to help me out on this small project. Because my first idea is like, okay, I should reach out to cosplayers or like people that make like
costumes, like costumers.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want something too professional or like people that are industry because that's going to be expensive. So it has to be like fan cosplayers and things. I've reached out to I think 3 or 4 people. All of them sort of agreed, and then either they weren't able to do it anymore or just outright ghost me by the time it's like quote unquote my turn. Because okay, I'll say this because I kind of got a little hurt from it maybe, but basically I searched online, like not even search, I just came across a YouTuber, a content creator YouTuber, not too big at that time and stuff. They're like, I'm looking for help, like monetary help, or like I'll do stuff for some monies. And they're like a cosplayer type of person. And I was like, they're looking for work. Maybe I'll just like inquire and ask. And they were pretty open to it at the beginning. They're like, okay, just give me like a couple of months. I need to like buy the fabrics and things. So I was like, okay, yeah, take your time.
Okay.
This was like, I think relatively early, like first year of Felynne deRouge. But they kind of just disappeared for a second, a hot minute. And then when they came back, they were like doing stuff, like idol costumes and stuff for pretty big names. So
yeah, the big name effect.
I'm like, I don't know. It's like I'm kind of like, should I poke them about it? I don't know, but it feels awkward.
Even if you did, you might get a price increase, as often happens once they start working for the big names.
Yeah,
that's what I felt that urge. You mentioned that they were working on bigger projects, and I was like,
but yeah, so I don't know. I have never had very much luck finding anyone, so now I'm just like, okay, I'll just buy my own materials. And then kind of like, I'll show you. I'll make my own.
I'll do it myself. Why I gotta rolling your arm?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's like a concept that I've had in the background, but I don't know, because how much immersion will that add realistically? Because I'll need to find like black gloves instead of like white cotton gloves, and that might be an issue. I don't know. So we'll see.
I think it sounds cool though, because like it goes back to part of the argument I saw about the how much flesh do you show thing was like talking about the not really advent, but like the whole Tsuki no Mito of it all with the like Kigu VTubers where they have the body shows, but then you wear the head that's like your model. Like weird looking head. It's just like, no guys, it's Tsuki no Mito, see? I'm just doing 3D content in a more realistic setting. But it kind of reminds me of that, but like more with just like a direct, more actualized cosplay, I guess?
Yeah. But it's still like, I feel like I could play on it a little bit, but in general, I'm pretty open to like AR style, like using 3D and things to kind of enhance the real world with a bit of virtual world, which is why like this virtual avatar exists. But also, I feel like I would be more expressive if I am using a VTuber avatar over like my own face type of deal.
Oh yeah, one of the things that appealed to me about VTubing is I'm not very expressive in the real world. You can imagine my despair when people had that whole like, you need to be really exaggerated and actually puppet your model in order to show expression. And I'm always just like, I want to die when I do that though, so can we can we find a medium away from that?
I mean, that's why I turn a lot of my tracking settings. They're pretty high, so I don't need to super exaggerate. But when I do, it
when you do, it shows.
Yeah. It also helps with the type of model that you work with. Like today we're doing the chibi stuff, right? I feel like they're more playful in general. Compared to, let's say, if we use our like full body type of model, it would have like a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I love that we get the option to choose. Let me see. Let me. I haven't checking chat super close. Did any questions come along? Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll try to insert the questions as we Zatsu. So don't be shy. I think is it Fenris? How do we stream? I think that's the
How do we stream?
The raid message.
Very carefully. You take a wrench to your PC, you whack it a few times.
Oh god. OBS struggles every day. Oh god. Though it's really, I think we're kind of fortunate that we have so many different VTuber softwares that we could choose from to stream and kind of enhance our overlays and things.
Like if you've been there since the beginning, you can kind of see how things have evolved over time in the VTubing space, even just with like all of the innovations the VTube studio has made, like hello sound effects became a thing. Like people used to dream about having sound effects tied to their models, but that has since changed, and you can actually do it. It's really crazy.
Yeah, or
how
like
quickly the technology grows.
Like if you're like super wide-eyed, then you can change your expression based on like the tracking stuff. That I forget to turn that on. I bought that recently and I just forget. That's one problem I face. There's too many softwares because there's so much to choose from. Too many softwares to open at the start of each stream.
And of course, the more you choose to use and like load in, the more of a strain it'll put on your PC. I have a bit of an old boy, so I'm kind of more conservative with the programs that I run, because I'm just like, if I'm not careful, I'm not even gonna have enough space to play a game.
That's me with like the VR chat and stuff. Every time I open up like even VR chat, my computer starts vrooming like my kitties, so but on the bright side, that also helps with the, some decision makings there, though. Like with those types of constraints, you're able to kind of craft up a stream or like a video in your style, in like sort of that way.
Yeah, I think it can all start contributing to like what counts as your individual brand, like what you consider essential to your content versus what you would consider to be a non-essential item or like a program or whatever. Like for me, I did raise enough money to eventually get a 3D, but I've told people that my plans for the 3D is strictly like edited pre-recorded content. I can't foresee myself ever wanting to do 3D live. That's just not what I want to do. But I will utilize the 3D model for pre-recorded content or like that sort of like edited down stuff, because I also think that would just be more fun and entertaining to watch too, versus watching, you know, Hanaki struggle with tech for 40 minutes, which is probably what would happen if I tried to do it live. So instead, I can cut all of that out, and then you only get the good stuff.
Actually, kind of tying into that, how much of the content you watch in general do you think seeps into the content that you make as a content creator?
This is one of my favorite topics when it comes to content creation, so don't mind me. Don't mind an Oni word vomiting for a second here. I am a big proponent of watching, like, when it comes to VTuber stuff, I think this is my hot take of the day, perhaps. I think more VTubers should watch non-VTubers and incorporate that into their content.
Hands down, we can end stream right now. That is the main takeaway. I feel like a lot of people really need to kind of understand. Okay, elaborate.
Well, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier when I said that VTubing is less of a genre and it's more of a medium. I think that there are too many people that have this expectation, perhaps, that when you are a VTuber, you only do the VTuber things. But, like, I think that's also partially what causes the VTuber things to either be seen as, like, stigmatized because it's tied directly to VTubers and no one else does it, or it kind of leads to stagnation on behalf of the VTubers because they're not branching out and, like, following the platform changes or, like, algorithm changes and all of that stuff. I feel like other creators, maybe because they don't feel as limited by the VTuber expectation or whatever niche they're in expectation, they can follow algorithm changes. They follow trends more easily, and their trends don't feel as, like, limited to being something that only VTuber fans would get. Like, I'm trying to think of an example of, like, a trend that would only make sense to VTubers that, like, other content creators wouldn't do. But, like, conversely, most platforms are catered to the non-VTubers. So I think sometimes if you want to play the game, you got to be willing to do the other type of stuff. You got to be willing to, like, branch out to those other branches. And that also kind of leads to, like, more marketability on your behalf too, because then you're not as limited to, like, only getting VTuber fans watching you. You can start getting more, not to call them normies, but, like, people outside of the core would then be able to start getting more interested in you because you're doing more stuff. That's just like some of how I feel. I love this topic so much.
No, I think one example is, like, the VTuber debut. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah. That was one of your first videos about how you don't really need a debut.
Or someone mentioned in chat, like, how important is Twitter to the growth plan? That's, like, the way VTubers use Twitter, I feel like attracts more VTubers rather than audience. Like, it
definitely is just a way to get. I feel like Twitter, if you look at the way different platforms are maybe used, it's really only so you can network with other VTubers or, like, other content creators or brands or places where you're, like, trying to get noticed for, like, work opportunities. It's very rarely going to be good for attracting fans per se. Unless you're, like, doing more collaborations with other VTubers, maybe, and then they share you, and then a fan is like, oh, this person's collaborating with a VTuber I'm gonna follow them. But that doesn't happen nearly as much as you think it would. So honestly, I don't think you need to put that much investment into Twitter. Not to say don't use it, but don't use it thinking that that's gonna be how you get fans. That's gonna be how you meet other VTubers to collaborate with.
For sure, I kind of agree with that, because, like, a lot of new VTubers, when they first start off, like, they want to show off their model type of deal, right? And they do the unlock the model with 5 likes or, like, 20 likes, and then as you have more people kind of look at that, then I don't know, the numbers start kind of increasing. Whereas some, let's just say, like, some VTubers who this isn't their first rodeo kind of deal. They just start off a new like a VTuber Twitter, and then suddenly they're like 50,000-60,000 followers already. And like I don't think those what was unlock me type of things. I honestly think they really do just attract other VTubers. compared to like more generic tweets that you make, like a
because I don't think a normal like fan would be on Twitter searching the VTuber hashtag to find new VTubers to follow. I think the only people who use that hashtag are other VTubers looking for VTubers to follow.
Yeah, and I think I think that's kind of important in a way to have like VTubers supporting each other, but also it's more like trying to connect with VTubers. Twitter's mostly connecting with VTubers than really growing, because like, for example, if I were at like a convention and stuff doing a meet and greet booth stuff, something like that, I would link to my Twitter, and sometimes I would get like a follower too, but realistically I would want them to follow me on my YouTube or on my Twitch so that they could check out that type of content, right? They could have
where you actually have the content
the bulk.
Versus like the Twitter, which is, it's good for like yapping and like checking daily life stuff if your VTuber uses it like that. If you're me, I barely use Twitter besides posting that I'm live and maybe occasionally like retweeting other people's stuff, and I don't really use it for much else. So then there's not really a point in me promoting my Twitter unless you care about seeing when I go live from that social media platform.
And sometimes...
So it kind of all depends on what you want to use it for.
Yeah, people do say, like, if you're putting just, like, go lives on Twitter, it might not be as effective.
Yeah, the way that Twitter silences VTubers.
Yeah. Because, I don't know. It is hard to get people to jump into streams just from a single tweet, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta try everywhere type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, you gotta be known. you gotta. That's why people encourage, like, if you're just streaming as a VTuber, unless you're like on this platform 24 hours, you will need to have some sort of other content outside to attract new viewers.
Yeah, especially if you look at Twitch, where Twitch really doesn't advertise you at all unless you are live. Like, if that's where you're doing the bulk of your streaming, then you have to kind of be aware of the fact that you're not going to get that much direct new people coming in unless you're playing something that has that niche where people will check out anyone that's playing it. That's kind of where you get into the argument of, like, are people following you because you're playing a trending game and they just want to see the game? Will they watch your other stuff? Or do they want to follow you because of your personality, and then they'll watch whatever you're doing?
Right, yeah. That's why when I first, like, started my Felynne channel and everything, I really wanted to emphasize the long-form videos before I did a bit of like streaming and stuff, because my going way back to like how we even started this conversation was I watch a lot of non-VTubers. I basically watch, like, unless it's my friends and like I'm dropping by and saying hello and just like checking out for a little bit. Like, majority of the content that I do when I'm like eating and stuff is all non-VTuber related stuff.
Yes, I'm the exact same way. I admittedly don't watch a lot of VTubers.
Yeah, because for me, that's like a source of where I get my ideas and stuff from. But in return, I don't do as much. Well, even for streamers and stuff, I watch their VODs kind of deal. I don't generally watch live.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of live streams unless they're friends too. Like, I think I've mentioned this to my audience before, at least, but I will usually tune in for special events, and I will also tune in for like karaoke. I avoid gaming streams like the plague unless I happen to like the game. I don't really like to watch game streams. I will occasionally watch a Zatsu, especially for friends, because then I'll yap with the friend in their chat. But like, I avoid game streams, and yet if you don't game stream, sometimes it feels like nobody wants to watch. So I'm always kind of struggling there, because I'm just like, man, I don't watch these. I don't know how to present it right.
Right. No, I kind of feel that for gaming streams. Let me see if I can. well, because I'm into Overwatch, right? So occasionally I will check out Overwatch streamers to see like how they play a specific character and things. But
Yeah.
even then, I still rather watch like commentary, like a competitive commentary. But let me think. Yeah, the gaming thing is like what a lot of people want to do as VTubers, right? Like for the most like generic,
it's that dream of being a Let's Player, you know, from like the really old YouTube or like the really old like Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter type of like these people got famous just because they played Minecraft every week.
Right.
I want to play Minecraft every week.
I want to earn money with Minecraft. Why can't I do it? But yeah, it's one of the biggest like groups of VTube, like categories of VTubers, right? Like you've got the V singers who like to focus. We could chat more about that too. But like the V singer group that focuses more on song covers or making original songs and things, doing karaoke. But then you also have a camp of gamers who either are variety gamers or they specialize in roguelikes, or they specialize in Souls-likes or Metroidvanias, and they only play like that type of games. For me, I don't think that would ever work for me. Like, I don't think I have the patience, or patience is not the right word, but like, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into just playing Souls-like, for example, and then if I want to try a different type of game, then my main audience that I grew is going to be like either, okay, I'll check it out because Felynne is playing it, or man, I don't like this game at all. I'm just going to tune in elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of FPS VTubers. I have heard that FPS doesn't work as well in EN compared to JP.
Do you think it's like a culture thing? Because I know that the way they play the game can sometimes be different depending on the region as well.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Apex and Overwatch players in JP, and they do like pretty well just playing those games. But for, I guess, like if you're not in the community of those types of games, then you're probably just either wanting to watch professionals play it or coaches, which is like sort of pseudo professional. But I also, actually, there was another discussion about like just chatting type of like Japanese streamers. I had a friend point this out to me, and now I can't unsee it. They were saying how some of these like because I was talking about like Niji-sanji streamers and how like variety they are. They're not all like idol type, right? Like JP, I'm talking specifically JP, Niji-sanji. They all have a specific like niche, and most of them do a lot of just talking. But then I also noticed a lot of JP streamers do a lot of just talking. They're like, yeah, it kind of fills that, like there's like a lot of non-VTuber streamers and chatters in the JP sphere. So it feels like you're having a friend over and they're just like kind of yapping at you, and they have that very specific type of tonality and like pacing for their the way they talk. And I was like, I never realized that for JP. I wonder if there's anything similar in the EN sphere, because we got the VTuber talk or something, right? Apparently there is like some very specific way that VTubers talk.
It's probably it goes back to the like puppeting the model, because like you just kind of sound more animated. I also know this because I like voice acting. The way that you like enunciate when you're trying to be more animated. This is how I sound when I'm talking normally. This is what I sound like when I'm trying to make my model move and look super cute. Oh my gosh, really? That's what you meant? Wow, that's crazy. That's the VTuber talk.
Oh man, I never do
and
that.
You can sometimes hear it when you see VTubers be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, mwah," or whatever they do.
I do that. That's my phone voice.
Yeah. It is kind of like the customer service voice. It pops out when you're like trying to really lock in on that energy and like move around and like puppet. the anime girl a little bit more. It's like you're talking to an anime girl. Yeah, see, exactly.
No
it's like the anime girl voice comes out.
Thank you. Dang, I don't know what accent I did for that. But my chat knows I can't pull off an accent consistently. I will switch from like, I don't know, Australian to Indian for some reason, and everyone's gonna be like, what the heck happened? I do this in real life too. But no, because you've got the Instagrammers that have the come with me to this place so that we can try. Like that cadence, right? You have the
the social media cadence.
Yeah. And then VTubers also have like that specific cadence. I try to, like when I'm streaming, I try to talk as if I were like conversing with someone, even if I'm not in like a collab setting. But it is pretty difficult to like keep that like energy.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, I think of YouTuber voice, because I think this was the first phenomenon of, like, the social media influencer voice was definitely the YouTubers being like, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Like, that kind of thing. And that was especially, like, known in, like, edited content. You can't imagine how many takes those YouTubers must have done in order to get that exact cadence.
Yeah. Yep.
So it works better for edited content versus when you're like live. It's a lot harder to maintain that kind of energy. I think that's also why, if you don't mind me talking a little bit about corporate stuff.
For sure.
That's also kind of why they tell you to like be careful when you're picking the voice that you're going to use on stream, because you have to make sure you can maintain it for the whatever minimum allotment for a stream that you can do, because otherwise it's exhausting. Even just now pretending to be more animated for that, I was like, oh god, I could not keep that up for a whole stream.
Yeah, I think that's very important to like some things that just learn over time type of deal, and it's okay. Like some people start off with like a really chipper voice, but then over time they're like, okay, maybe I'll tone that down a bit. But like I don't know, there's like a camp where people already got to know you while you're doing that sort of tone, so
and then you switch and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's like sometimes when you switch different models, that also happens too, right? Some people get very attached. Wait, hold on. Wasn't this like a big thing? Like,
are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the prince. We're going to talk about.
I mean, we could. I don't mind, because that's sort of important. I feel like to really, as a VTuber, to really understand your audience versus like orbiters. Is that the word? Like people that know you from like that one image and that's it. That's all they know about you type of deal.
I do actually watch a lot of, if we're allowed to name drop, I do watch a lot of Ren's stuff, because I feel like they have a very unique perspective on content creation, not just VTubing. I've been paying attention to a lot of the stuff that they've been saying, especially post the big switch. The big switch of like about a week or two ago.
Yep.
Yep. But you do get kind of attached to like a specific model, and I'll admit even I felt it. Like when I saw the debut of the new model for them, I was like, I don't know if that fits. But I didn't make it their problem, which is what happened online and is why it became such a big issue for everybody else.
No, for me, I was like, I couldn't tell if it was like a joke or not at the beginning, but like once they actually debuted the model, I was like, oh, okay, that's their new look. Okay. Because it's kind of akin to cutting your hair sort of deal when you're doing such a major rebrand. You want to start fresh. Like there's a saying, like if you're doing a big change in life, you cut your hair type of deal. But
yeah. That's also why they're strict with like idols too, about like maintaining a certain image and not really letting you like cut or dye your hair unless they approve it or whatever, right?
Yeah. Apparently there's like things like there was a kid that still went to school and is an idol, but they had their hair dyed blonde or something for their debut, and the school was like, you got to change it back to black. No. But
right, because most Japanese schools don't let you have the dyed hair like that.
Yeah, and then his excuse was like, no, I gotta stay this for my image. Like I have like proof my agency wants me to keep this look.
I can whip out my contract. Must be blonde.
Yeah. So
which sounds fake, but it's so real.
It's so real. No, it's a legit thing. So even even subtle changes with like hairstyles and things for VTubers could sometimes impact your audience in ways, but if it's for the benefit of like the direction that you want to go into, more power to you type of deal. Like,
yeah,
at the end it's just a skin, a non-flesh skin.
It's just your non-flesh skin. But I also can see it from the side of like a fan where like you're so used to that specific image for, I mean, especially for sticking with the Prince's case, it was like years because of the issues that they then had to explain in a video later after all of the backlash happened.
I'm glad they made content out of it, though. That's so.
You gotta love the fact that they're capable of doing that.
No, that reminds me of, like, for my favorite J-pop idols and stuff, sometimes when they change their hair and stuff, I'm like, ew.
Ew, no, go back.
Ew, no, go back.
But then you kind of get used to it. Like, you have that initial, like, I have this with,
not
like,
the rat tails, okay?
Maybe not rat tails.
I will never stand rat tails. Get those off. Cut them off now.
Well, at least they, like, hide behind the head, usually, and then you just have to just not look at them from behind.
And then a mullet. They had a mullet afterwards. I was like, please, stop this!
Not the rat tail to mullet pipeline. Those are some choices.
This is not your brand, please, no.
You're just looking at that like, God, I hope that was a management decision. God, I hope that was a management decision. I will not accept my fave having bad taste.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, someone brought it up in chat. I was actually told by management back when I was corporate that I might have to stay green forever. They were saying that there was a very high chance they were never going to let me change 1.0's hair color, even if I got to the point where I was getting like new outfits and stuff. And I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I feel like I don't know, some certain butterfly girl, I don't think she would ever had the chance to wear like skirts or anything, because she was mostly known for shorts and like that, like there's like a particular look, right, to all of the talents and stuff. So
that's actually crazy. I mean, I was told that probably would never get to wear anything that wasn't JP inspired. Like I was really gonna be stuck in the Japanese aesthetic forever. I wanted to do OGK, and they were like, well, yes, but can you make it Japanese? And I was like, I guess. That's not what I wanted, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If they wanted to stick to a certain aesthetic, maybe there should have been more, like, better packaging. Let me just write it that way, and that's all I'm gonna say. Conrad, thank you so much for the super. Have you ever tried coming up with any theories of your own in like trying to figure out how the YouTube algorithm works? It keeps changing. Dear Lord.
Anytime you think you have an idea of what might work is when they decide to change it, and they're like, actually, it's this now. Like the minute you think you have it set and you're like, okay, I have to post this many shorts in a day, I have to stream this many times in a week, la da la da la da la. And then YouTube's like, actually, what if we just make all of your streams count as like an uploaded YouTube video, even though that's not what it is, and we're now going to punish you because you're not getting a lot of views on this uploaded VOD from when you were streaming.
Oh god, no, not that.
And they start doing stuff like that where it just becomes like, the minute you think you have something figured out or you think you're starting to ride the wave in like a positive way, that always seems to be when they're like, actually, what if we change that? What if we get rid of that?
No, so it's so true because actually one VTuber that I generally keep up with is Giga, because like she has a lot of clips about content creation and stuff that pop up on my feed, and I generally just watch the clips, but and I kind of agree with her on that. So I also mentioned this to my chat a little bit before, but you should try a lot of different things. It's like playing a roguelike on your channel where you have certain builds for your videos and you want to see what works and what doesn't. And until a single video or maybe a couple starts going viral in asterisks, there is like you just got to keep trying until you hit that. But then once you hit that for that specific channel, that's all you're going to be known for. The YouTube
I was
algorithm.
like, you better be ready to do Thing forever if you're going to be banking off of that.
Yeah, so at that point, that's like the final build for that specific channel, and then you can move everything else to a different channel and try again, start anew. But like,
how do you feel about having to run multiple channels? Because I know that's kind of like the main YouTube meta. That kind of seems to be the expectation now. Like you can't really have a variety channel anymore.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I've heard people say that the multi-channel is still like the best way to go, and then I've also heard people say the multi-channel is no longer as relevant as before. What I think is if it's drastically different and you haven't really started experimenting with that type of content in your original channel, throw it into a new channel and experiment and do like a sub experimentation there. Like for me, I've always been toying around the idea of pushing more of my music stuff outside of this channel. Cause it won't be good for either type of quote unquote algorithms that my channel's trying to build up right now versus like one that I want the music covers to build up. So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so if you have a strategy and you have like something that you want to try that's very different, go do a different channel. Type of deal. But you also have to make sure you're okay with running multiple channels, right? Like you don't want to start a new channel, do like maybe 2 or 3 videos, and then don't see results from that, and then never touch that type of channel again. I'm looking at you, my VOD channel. I'm sorry.
R.I.P. VOD channel.
But yeah, that's my general thoughts. But did you have any thoughts on that too?
I mean, I'm kind of in the unique position of kind of feeling like I have to because my YouTube channel can't get monetized. So I've been thinking about the benefits of starting a new channel and having that be where the edited content goes. Because I intended to kind of pivot in a way similar to you, where I was going to do more edited content and have that kind of be the bulk for as long as I could. But the minute I struggled getting my monetization back after the transfer from Corpo to Indie, I was just like, I don't know if this is even going to be worth it then.
Yeah, I think in your case it might be, it's a pretty strong case to start fresh.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember, like, I'm not sure if you've mentioned it, so maybe I'll chat a little offline about like the monetization stuff. But for me, that's actually one other reason why I would split my music stuff, because it can't be monetized.
Yeah, and
Right?
I've seen stuff too about how V-singers have started to be kind of like punished more, like they can't start monetization if they have too many, even if it's not a strike. If they just have like the shared revenue thing, if they have too many of those, they're having a hard time getting their memberships unlocked or like having any kind of monetization for their other stuff.
Exactly. And I also heard like recently a lot of people are getting monetization removed for not deceptive practices, but like not reused content, but
repetitive
inauthentic
content.
Repetitive or inauthentic. Yeah, those are the two big ones recently. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I hear that's mostly hitting people that do the whole like reading Reddit stories or whatever and not really doing too much that's transformative. That's what's kind of seen as repetitive.
Like I use a lot of the same assets across a lot of my videos. Is that considered repetitive in VTubers YouTubers' eyes? I don't know, but
I think assets are probably fine just because it can be tied to branding. Because I think that would also lead to like, you know, what if a flesh tuber is constantly filming videos in their room? Would their room be considered repetitive?
And they have the same hairstyle, same background, same foreground. Yeah.
So I think you might be okay if it's an aesthetic thing, but I think it comes down to content. Because again, the example that I saw was about like specifically like Reddit stories. Like if it's just you're reading a Reddit story and you're not really transforming it in any other way, then it leads to like coming across as like repetitive. YouTube seems to be cracking down on like content that they don't think is valuable, and in those cases they don't think that like reading a Reddit story out loud is that valuable, or it's not transformative enough to be like fair use. So it's leading to a lot of like channel bonking.
You know, the irony of like YouTube saying that and then like the bunch of like AI videos and things.
Yeah. Well, it's part of this is because they're trying to get rid of AI. Like they're really trying to like
they're also
punish these farms, but also they keep slipping through the cracks.
They slip through the cracks, and like YouTube, or not even YouTube, it's like big Google is like, here's a way to make AI videos. Like what? The messaging doesn't come across.
No AI, but then also here's a feature that you can have in your studio that like suggests video ideas for you with AI generated thumbnails.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? It makes no sense. And then because of like the AI crackdown, the animators, a lot of animators are also getting demonetized and things, and it's just a huge mess. Which is why I always advocate don't stick to one platform. As like, if you can, like, try to diversify your portfolio. # I am not a financial advisor, but it's real as a content creator. You don't want to stick too heavily. Look what happened to Vine on like one.
Yeah, Vine died. Like certain platforms will, you can't be loyal to just one platform. It will betray you in some way or another.
Yep.
And I also am a big advocate of like, this goes back to VTubers doing more than just VTuber stuff, but please pay attention when platforms are posting about new features, or when they're posting about certain things going away. I was one of the first people that told my chat that YouTube was getting rid of its clipping feature and just replacing it with timestamps again. And I'm just like, guys, this is big. You have to pay attention to this stuff when you're a content creator, because like, you know, it affects you in some way, shape, or form.
Recently YouTube's been trying to push shopping. Like,
they're really big on using their like built-in shop, whatever.
Yeah, so like even if I guess like it's for like monetized channels or something, but I did that Lego cat thing a while back, right? I didn't tag any items on it, but then YouTube automatically tagged it to the Lego cat. And now it's just like living underneath my video. So I'm like,
lurking,
okay,
waiting.
Are people gonna click that? I don't know. It hopefully will earn me some money, but I'm not banking on it.
Would that count as an affiliate link? I don't think it would. I think that would just be like, that would get like a little bit for Lego then.
No, I think I'd get like a penny or something.
Well,
let me.
You heard it here first. Buy your Lego cat underneath Flynn's
video. It has to be specifically that one product too. Yeah, because like sometimes they push Best Buy, for example. Yeah, affiliate. It is affiliate marketing, but like very convoluted. So you can get roughly like 1% commission from Invincible Versus, all the way to like 20% if you buy Gran Turismo 7. That's like an example. I do know some, like, not VTubers, but like content creators, a lot of affiliate marketing does help with
yeah, I've noticed their own like
revenue.
merch being linked in like descriptions and stuff, so I can imagine if it's like something that is specifically yours, you could probably see bigger returns from that.
Yeah, so that could be like one source that people could consider. But merch is so big. It's such a big thing. Oh, Unishout, like if you could do one type of merch, no questions asked, like unlimited money to like make it, what would it be?
That's so tough. There's so many cool things I would want. No. I mean, I guess my biggest one has always been and probably will always be a Nendoroid. I want a Nendo so bad.
Heck yeah! They're so cute. That would be a good one. I think one of my ideas would have been like a model kit or something.
Oh.
So similar vein. If I had unlimited monies and like I could persuade Bandai to help me.
Oh yeah, you'd want to shoot for the big brand, please, Mr. Bandai.
But also like the other half of me, and I still joke about this, but I think it's still very, very much viable, is cat tofu litter. something that happens with a reoccurring subscription. Hello. Content brain.
Yeah.
I mean, money making brain, I guess. It's more money making brain that way, but
I mean, I'd rather you do that as a subscription service than to have like a course or something. Please never make an influencer course, Lynn. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees. Don't make a course. Don't make a course.
But you've seen like the Colosso courses and stuff, right? From artists, VTuber artists and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Those ones are good courses, but I mean, actually, not all of them are good courses, but
yeah. I think that those are kind of different because they do teach a skill.
Yeah.
I think the problem I have with influencer courses tends to be that they're just like, make content.
Do what I do. Get money. Yay.
Just make money.
Yeah.
That's it. And they don't really actually teach you anything.
I don't know. I've seen so many YouTubers go that route. And then once they release their course, you never really hear about them again because they just like lost.
They got the steady income, or in some cases, if nobody bought it, they I don't know, bankrupted. I don't know if that's the actual term, but they just explode.
Yeah, they literally just like disappear. So I'm like, was that successful or not?
Life's greatest question. We can't see the numbers. We don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I can't even. Like, while we're on the topic of like money making as content creators, like courses, I feel like if you do have a certain skill to teach, that is a really good. I don't know how much money you actually make out of those courses, because like those courses are like a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one-time purchase though, especially if you get like a handful of people buying it.
Yeah. Then I don't know. Would you rather go like that route of like law, not as much sales, but like more money versus like a lot of sales, little money per thing? Like that's always a balance.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have multiple people paying a small amount, but then that part is consistent because it's a smaller amount. At least that's how I see it. Like, if I, God forbid, shoot me if I do this in Minecraft, by the way. But if I ever make a influencer course, or like if I ever do anything crazy like that, it's gonna be like $2, and then you get access to the entire library, and then you can have a recurring subscription, so you always have access to the library. And that's probably how I would try to make money. Because if it's that small, and then you get access, and people want to keep the access because they're studying at their own pace or whatever, then I feel like that would add up over time versus the like $800 one-off course that's like, I don't know, access expires in a week and then you have like nothing to show for it besides being told just do it, Lamau.
Yeah. No, that's why I like Shoost, the app that a lot of VTubers, just for context for the audience. Shoost is like a make your overlays and stuff look even prettier. It's a photo filter for not just for VTubers, but it is used by a lot of VTubers. Their type
it does like camera movements, it does like filters over your overlay, it lets you do like rain effects or sparkles or like any of that stuff that makes you look more anime. You can do like backlighting.
Technically OBS has a lot of these functions built in now.
So does VTube Studio, if we're
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like
yeah.
super technical. But
Yeah.
having Shoost do it, I think, is lighter on your load on your PC. 'Cause
Yes.
if you do it through like OBS or VTube Studio, that already take a lot of resources, it kind of makes them chug more.
Yeah, but basically the subscription, it's not complete yet. There's no version 1 yet, but every time that the developer has a new update to it, like a version update, the entire plan is subscription, but you can always just like pay $5 to grab the latest update and then cancel the subscription. But if you want to continue supporting the development of it, you could keep that $5 subscription going. But that at the end of like all the subscription is like a final product, right? It's a usable product. So I think that's kind of nice strategy.
Yeah, if you're offering that kind of resource, and like if you're making an app, I can see why either having the one-time purchase or the subscription model would be beneficial. I think it's harder with content to kind of figure out how to do like a monthly membership offerings, or like those kind of like more recurring purchases. I really struggled when I was trying to come up with membership benefits when I first had them open on my YouTube channel. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can offer.
Literally right now, like my I think it's like $2 because all you get is really the usage of the emojis. It's really just to support the channel as a whole. I don't have additional tiers and things right now. But oh my gosh, even Patreon, I have thoughts about what can I even do if I had a Patreon. Like,
well, I can offer you advice on that as someone who was made to do a Patreon by management and then tried to maintain it after leaving management.
do tell.
I mean, like, a lot of it, I feel like also a bulk of Patreon's content, they do want you to do more behind the scenes, like exclusive, like looking at stuff, like maybe, I think in your case, it might benefit you to do like a behind the scenes of like, oh, here's what a typical video script looks like, or here's like what my editing process kind of looks like. Early access to videos could probably also be an option. For me, I do a lot of like special like written posts that are kind of like diary entries, but not really. And then I also offer like monthly insights into kind of my analytics. Like I'm like, here's how many times I streamed in a week. Here's kind of what the viewership looked like. Here's how much I grew. Here's like how it looked compared to other months, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of just like info dump my thoughts, especially because I like this topic. I just think it's fun to offer people like a look at kind of like what it does and like how it looks for me, especially because I do this full time. Like here's what it looks like to do it full time at my numbers, I guess, and like how my numbers like rise and fall. Patreon does tend to prioritize, and they also actually released a new thing where they're trying to be more community focused too. They added this thing called quips. And the way a quip, yeah, they're calling it quips. But the way it's supposed to work is you can post a quip publicly. Like it's not limited to your members, and you can advertise stuff that you do on your Patreon in your quip. But quip has its own like public feed, and you can find other people's Patreon pages, and like you can see like, oh, you know, Hanaki does creative writing, and she posts voice packs, and she posts behind the scenes stuff on her Patreon, and then it's like, oh cool, I think that's neat. And then you can go and check out the actual like membership levels and choose to subscribe from there. But clips themselves are free content, and you can just kind of like use them to interact not just with your community, but they're also trying to encourage you to interact with other people using Patreon, like from the creator side.
Interesting.
It lets you like network, it lets you comment on other people's quips, and you're supposed to be able to like interact with other people that way, which is kind of interesting. Patreon used to be very like, this is for your community, this is for your little nest, but it looks like they're trying to encourage more networking.
Yeah, because for Patreon or Ko-Fi, it's kind of similar. The search is horrendous, right? Discoverability, discoverability is practically zero unless you know the content creator and you go to that page specifically to either just check out what they have or support them. Would you? Is one of the reasons why you're staying with like the Patreon stuff over YouTube, aside from like the monetization thing, was because like a lot of these things you could, in theory, put it into YouTube as like members only videos or members only posts. Do you like, if for someone who had like the experience with Patreon, do you see like certain benefits of using Patreon over putting it all together and putting all your eggs in one basket?
When I started it, management's encouragement was to have like one kind of more expensive tier than what was being offered on YouTube. Like YouTube members still got all of their member content, but the idea with the Patreon was supposed to be that it was a step higher for like further support, and that's why it was all like behind the scenes stuff. For like a VTuber also, that's where I put a lot of the HD art files in case people wanted to make like a wallpaper out of a certain Hanaki artwork.
Right.
So like the benefit was supposed to be, this is all the behind the scenes stuff about what does when she's not like making her regular content for you guys. And then you also got like sneak peeks of like stuff I was working on with like covers or like voice packs. The plan was to eventually like make it so that I was releasing more voice packs like monthly, and they were going to be more like lore focused and like edited to sound more like a radio play. Was kind of the intention for my Patreon when it was first conceptualized, but I didn't have it for very long before we got bonked, so but like it's kind of, the idea is that it's supposed to be able to build upon, and you can also like, not to make it seem like it's about money, but they wanted it to be that you could charge more for like a additional like peek behind the curtain and like an offering of like that kind of stuff. I also wanted to do more writing, and YouTube members' posts weren't really the best place to post writing because formatting's abysmal. I want to use italics. Let me like I wanted something where I could have the focus be more on the written medium, because that's what I like, and that's what I was willing to offer for like more exclusive like lore focused content before the voice packs started happening more and stuff. So like for me at least, it made sense to kind of diversify it and like spread it a bit further, but I emphasized that it was not necessary to join it, and that members who just wanted to stick with YouTube and also pay the smaller amount, you were still gonna get stuff. But I just was like using it for additional creative stuff, and it was also like to kind of maintain the, I guess, the like fan to creator interaction, because like it works a bit differently over there than it does in YouTube memberships. I didn't really post a lot of like yappy type stuff in my YouTube memberships, but I do on Patreon. Like a lot of my posts, I'll be like, what are you guys watching? Or like, what are you guys getting up to? And it's kind of a more like direct way for me to chat, and it's way smaller, so it kind of feels like more intimate there.
Interesting. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, because I did toy around with the concept of like a Patreon or something, but I think for me, at the end of every single video, I already spiel out like, consider doing this, that. That would be one. It's just
another thing to add to the call to the action list, and that can sometimes be overwhelming for a viewer. I totally get that.
Yep. So that's why I haven't really. If I could find some like good value in making a Patreon, then that probably would be something I would do. It will probably be more goal focused, similar to like the shoes thing I mentioned. But I do notice like non-VTuber content creators that I follow, if they do have a Patreon, sometimes they would offer Patreon specific Discord like channels, or like
they have a way that you can integrate directly with Discord, and then you can verify that they're a Patreon member in order to give them a specific role on the Discord server.
Fancy.
There's some people that do, like, Patreon also has a way to stream directly to Patreon now. It used to be that you just had to link like a stream from YouTube. I usually just did it unlisted, and then the link would only be shared with Patreon members. But they do make it so that you can stream directly to Patreon now if you want to do Patreon exclusive members streams. I know some creators do like movie nights with their Patreons. They'll do like book clubs. Like there's a couple book YouTubers that I watch who will do like book club early, and they'll like go over whatever book they're planning to make a video about specifically with their book club. And then so the benefit is that when the video comes out, you get clips from the book club, and maybe your commentary gets shared along with the creators, and they like agree with you or they disagree with you, and then you get to watch them like discourse with your opinion. So that's like a value that works specifically in that community, but you can kind of figure it out based on what your audience likes and what you think they might like further.
It's interesting because yeah, I do feel like Patreon's a lot of like, here's behind the scenes type of thing. So, homo. Because like
that does seem to be what they prioritize. It's either that or it's like exclusive stuff you wouldn't find on a primary platform.
Yeah. Actually, have you come across like a new VTuber content creator platform? I think they just popped up recently on my
I saw something on my For You page too. Maybe we saw the same one.
Yeah, because I was a little bit skeptical. I'm always like pretty skeptical about.
I was looking at the way the tweets were written, and I was like, "Is this ChatGPT or is this is this real?" Sometimes I can't tell. Let me see if I can find it. I think I bookmarked it because I was curious about it. VTuber.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I saw they're looking for early access VTubers.
Yeah, because. I've also been looking at like creator platforms. That's what they're called, right? That isn't the first one that I've seen recently that is targeted for VTubers.
Yeah.
I know Peachy is another one, but that one's more for like
Peachy. I haven't heard of that one.
R18, I believe. Like that's why.
Oh,
that's why
yeah. That makes sense.
But there is a lot of these like smaller content creator platforms, which is it's such a generic term. Oh my gosh. Which all behave similar to Patreon in a way, right? But for the VTuber niche only or something like that. And I always wondered like how effective that would work compared to.
It's not gonna work. Back in my day, I saw it happen with the V-Stream platform, and it died within a couple of months because nobody wanted to use it.
Yeah, I that's what one thing to be wary of, like for VTuber aspiring VTubers or something. It's just like whenever you see a VTuber specific platform, always be wary.
Be wary. Try not to like it. I know the idea of being an early adopter appeals to a lot of people because like usually it's the first ones on a platform who tend to have the bigger following, and they also become the face of that platform.
Right.
It's appealing, especially if you're trying to do VTubing to become big and famous, to be the front face of a new platform. If you think, well, hopefully you think that it's going to become big. If you don't think it's going to become big, why are you doing it? But like, it's kind of like, there's always that appeal of like, but this could get me big famous number. I'm like the front face on this platform. People will see me all the time, and then they'll be able to click on me and I'll become big, huge. But then like, the limitation then becomes it's another way of separating the audience between platforms.
Right. Like a
lot
lot of people...
if we end up getting users that only use VTuber, for example, are they going to VTuber my other platforms?
Ah! Oh my god! No, see, this is a very, very good example of Irium streaming. Because Irium is not the first one, but it is, I mean, I feel like it's doing relatively well, but it is a app-specific VTuber streaming software service thing, right? Where you cannot watch any of the streams outside of that platform. Reality has one too, just for 3D VTubers. But the compelling thing about the, what's it called, early... like you as a VTuber, you can't just like join Irium and press stream. You have to be accepted into their early access platform right now.
Yeah.
The sheer hope is that you would be attracting new fans and because you're early, yeah, hopefully you can grow an audience that way. But the other part, I feel like it's a little similar to what Twitter, where a lot of the audience on Irium is also other VTubers. Because I was a part of the first wave, I believe, of the early access, just to check out the app and get that feel. Because initially for Felynne deRouge, I wasn't like intending on streaming so much on YouTube or Twitch. But the biggest downside that I discovered while I was like on that platform is that it was only for US app store viewers.
I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, a big portion of my audience is actually overseas and stuff. So, in theory, you could change your app store to US and like check it out. But at that point, like, realistically, how many viewers would do that, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're the most like loyal, dedicated fan of someone, like that's still a really big hurdle to change like your app store, because all of your subscriptions and things would be affected. That's an example if you've never switched regions and things. So it was alienating a large part of my audience, which is why I didn't feel as comfortable just doing Irium streams. Like if I did Irium streams, it would have to be Irium plus something else.
But they don't really allow that, do they?
I'm not too sure. I don't remember. Some people did live stream outside of it, but you had to... It's kind of like Twitch, where you have to pay attention to just the people on that platform. If you were multi-streaming to outside, but that's also a big hassle. So there's so many frictions with that app. Like even setting up audio for that app, you needed to reroute if you wanted to have a pretty mic, which is one reason why, like, one strategy to be like, quote unquote, like more popular, because this is the JP way too, is to have a whole audio setup routed outside and then hook it all up to your phone's like poor little USB-C or whatever, because you want to sound really good. Like you want your audio to be really clear and crisp, because that's one way to attract new viewers, right? Like if you go into a stream and it's like,
at the very least, it's the number one thing that will detract a viewer, like a new viewer. If they think that your audio is too bad, then they likely will not stay.
Yeah. And you can see when... Wait, I don't remember if you can see when people leave. You can see whenever someone new joins, which is kind of awkward sometimes, but... It is an interesting platform, because I have checked out similar ones in the past. Because but I do feel like it's a more JP thing. Again, with like the style of VTubers or streamers, it's mostly just talking. Oh right, because I forgot to mention it on Irium. All you do is chat. Like you can only hear the audio, right? Like you can have a picture moving, but it's just your VTuber model that is specifically designed for the app. But you can't have any external screens or anything.
I also heard there was like copyright stuff when it came to like if you wanted to do music, they would be more likely to bonk you because they had like less copyright protections over there, or like free use protections or what have you. I don't remember what the term was, but I know that like singing was super limited as well.
Yeah, so it's literally just like bedside table, chat with me type of deal, which could work, I guess. Like for my content, I just chat all the time anyways, but but the audience just wasn't there for me. Yeah. So
true. I think that if you don't like the getting announced, that kind of detracts lurkers, and I know that for people like us who do a lot of cozy yapping, we are often the background, and people don't necessarily want to be made. They don't want to be perceived, so they're like, please don't, please don't do that.
Yeah, which is why I do have like a lurk silent hi thing for my thing, which I do see some people use. So thank you. But it's there for a reason, right? Yeah. So it is a very hyper focused niche, I believe. Irium has. But if the one thing that gets me is like the events that they hold. There's like a lot of events, right?
They offer some pretty cool opportunities for their first streamers or whatever.
Yeah, they're the top. Yeah. If you rank like first or something, for example, you could get a whole original song composed for you
by a Japanese composer. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so they do have like, or you can go to Offkai and like have a whole standee made for you or something like that. There are really good perks and things, but realistically, I think you are, I don't know, like the competitive side of Irium, I feel like is a little bit misleading for newcomers to the platform.
Yeah. I think that there's like a certain sort of like tribalism that might end up happening because of that. Yes. And like a weird competitive nature, which is also a whole thing. And we could talk about the cover project if you saw that.
I have lots of things to cover. But first, hold on. Nia, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you.
Welcome.
We could definitely talk about the newest cover JP announced thing. What is it called again?
What do they call it? It had such a weird name.
It had a weird name.
Sorry, cover. It started with a W. What the heck was it?
What? Web.
Web.
No, I think it had an E in it.
Hold on. Cover corp. Where's your freaking Twitter cover corp? There we go. What was it? Mech Park. Mech Park.
See how to eat. Mech Park. Where they're introducing 2 sets, right? 2 sets of 3 groups where they have to build an audience over 2 years.
Yeah, it's like a 2-year trainee program. They're given, I think the manager also counts as a VTuber, at least the way they market it.
Oh, is it? I thought yeah, I don't know if it was like talent plus manager or talent manager. It's basically, you have 2 years. If you do well, asterisks, then you get to be a full-fledged like cover
member
talent.
of HoloLive.
Yeah. Did they specify it was specifically for HoloLive, or is it any of the branches? Because like
let me see if I can find the statement that they made about it.
Okay. While you do that, I will chat because this is very, very similar to a lot of J-pop idols, smaller J-pop idols. It's not even just like K-pop shows, because that's the recency. I feel like that's a recency effect where a lot of people feel like it's similar to that, but it has been occurring in the J-pop scene since very, very early indie J-pop days. Like a lot of smaller groups from smaller talent agencies would be like, we will perform for like a certain amount. If we don't make it past like X amount of sales, then we will disband. That is a very, very common goal strategy things for a lot of these smaller groups. Even for big projects like Hello Project, I believe Smilage, before they made their big major debut, also had challenges like this. And you would think
I found it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's in English. So each unit brings together 3 trainees and 1 director, working as one for up to 2 years. If their talent shines through, they may seize their debut before the time is up, but if they fall short of the standard, their story toward an official debut will end there. In this limited time, the trainees will push forward with everything they have. Don't miss a single moment of their brilliance. And it looks like they're going to be... It shows what they're being judged on and stuff on this page,
too. Really? Oh, okay.
So, like, Trust, which is a management review.
Oh, okay.
Momentum, which is based on their activity data, which includes viewership, live audience engagement, and fan content hype.
Hype.
And then voice or fan support, which is like your support and survey results on platforms like Holo Plus.
Oh, right. Holo Plus is a thing. I forgot about that.
They will be viewed as a critical barometer on how to best highlight the trainee's appeal, and as a valuable source of your voice and opinions will act as an important facet of the evaluation process.
That's okay. Viewership. So, like a couple of things though, because HoloLive, I mean, Cover is doing this already. Wouldn't it mean like if any of the previous HoloLive members like mention anything about it, it would already have like a pretty high anticipated starting point?
I suppose it could. Maybe they're gonna implement some sort of internal rule where they're not allowed to talk about it.
Maybe. Because I'm not too familiar with how the VTA system works with the Nijisanji groups either, right? Like, they have a training school for Nijisanji JP. But
theirs is different. They get, like, the placeholder PNG, I think, and then they all have to stream off of one VTA account.
Yeah.
And they just have, like, set times where they're allowed to... I think they usually just do Zatsus for, like, 2 hours.
It's kind of interesting as a concept, though. But
I will say this Q&A page does assuage some fears, because the first thing that they mention is that trainees are supported through a fixed compensation model, allowing them to focus fully on their creative endeavors without concern for revenue. So they are going to be receiving like a stipend, and they can just like really lock in on their creative stuff. So at least it's not also... They're not going to be broke.
But it also begs the question, I don't know if it answers it or if they will ever address this. If they don't make it to a HoloLive debut, do they have to pay back the money?
It doesn't mention any of that here.
Because that's a big thing for like K-pop trainees, for example, right? If you don't debut, you're on the hook. Actually, no. Well, it depends on the agency, but sometimes if you don't debut, then you're not on the hook for the expenses that you incurred. If you did debut, you will formally be on the hook for all of the expenses paid during your trainee period, and you basically some of your paycheck past debut will go towards paying off the trainee.
Ugh, but imagine having to pay off 2 years of debt. The minute you debut. Like, even if you're debuting in something big like HoloLive, I feel like that would still really cut into your earnings.
Right. I'm not saying that Cover may or have this implementation. I'm just kind of curious in general, like what's the... Because they make it a big thing, right? Like, if they don't make it past 2 years, then they don't debut type of thing, right? Like, what happens?
And they also say, too, that depending on how fervent you support them, you could get it so that they debut early.
Oh,
One of the Q&A things here says that there's a chance that promotion is decided as soon as criteria are met, without necessarily waiting for the full 2 years.
Ooh, so I'm guessing, like, if you reach 1 mil or something.
There's probably some sort of internal metric they've set where it's like, if there's enough hype for this, then we'll just let them debut early. But that could also be a bit rough because there's 2 groups competing at the same time, right? So
are they facing off of each other? Like, can both groups debut or only one set can debut?
Let me see if it says anything on the unit page. I was just looking at the about the project page. We have Akrora, which is the first unit, and then we have Unit B. They haven't set up a name yet because they're still pre-debut apparently. Akrora apparently has debuted, according to this.
Huh. All Mech Pack?
Mech Park. Mech Park.
Can they make a better name, please? I'm begging you. I'm pretty... Is it like Makeup? Like Makeup Pack?
Let me see... Does it have a pronunciation guide? Sometimes they do. Mekapaku. So no, you're right, it's Mech. Mech Park.
Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, okay, so yeah, they do have a Twitter page already for Akrora. Dear Lord. These names.
Akrora.
Akrora? Like Akurora. Yeah, Akrora. Akrora. I'm trying to figure out what it's supposed to. Like Aurora, but with like acknowledgement.
Good question, man.
For reference, Angerme in which is spelled anger me, is a combination of two words, French words called like ange as an angel and then larme as in something close to that. But in Japanese is Angerme. But when you read it in English, it's anger me. Interesting. Like, what do you think about this concept in general?
Doesn't feel good to me. I don't really like the idea of competition between creators in an already very saturated market. I think in a way, using it as a training program is probably like good, in my opinion. Like using it to train people is one thing. I kind of like the VTA system in comparison, where like the whole point is that they're supposed to learn. They get the one set channel, they have a set time they stream, they get to practice, and then like you can be in lessons. The VTA program for years, and they just like let you keep learning and growing, and they teach you the actual skills to be an effective, primarily variety entertainer, because that's what Niji Sanji does. Yeah. But they're like really trying to get you to learn the skills, and then when they think that you've learned it, they will let you debut with like a group of other graduates of the VTA program specifically, because it's more like a school. It feels more like a Seiyu vocational school to me when I think of VTA.
Yeah.
Where it's like you'll get your chance. Like it's not like you're not gonna get to. It's just you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mech Park is putting a lot of the onus on outside sources, which can always be so risky. And I also just think like having that fan expectation. I like the fact that they mentioned that the creators are going to have a stipend. Because I do think one of the biggest fears is probably like if we don't give the girls enough money, they're not going to get to debut. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be other metrics.
Yeah, because one of the biggest woes as like indie content creators, like you might have all the time, but you may not have the resources or knowledge in certain areas to like really make your ideas like pop off. Or you might not have time at all either. But
I think I also like that Mech Park is giving them like a set unit, because I think one of the things about VTA is you're just kind of independent until you get shoved with a group for your actual debut. And it might be people you know from VTA and it might not be. But it looks like the goal with the Mech Park project is making sure that the girls are working together like from the get-go, which would probably make it better for chemistry. But then I wonder if it's individual basis for debuts, or if it is going to be either the whole unit succeeds or none of you do.
Yeah, it would be really awkward if one person gets like promoted like way faster. Like but like there's like two sides to it, right? Like if someone is really thriving, for example, in this training program thing, then you wouldn't really want to block them off from like releasing their full potential. Like,
yeah, you don't like if you meet it in 6 months, it would suck to have to wait another year and a half for the other two to maybe catch up. Yeah. And then maybe if they don't, would your whole unit then be screwed, even though you met the metrics like ages ago?
Yeah.
I feel like 2 years is too long, especially if like that does lead to some form of attachment and then they can't debut. I don't know, maybe if it was shorter, it might be more palatable. But also, Idolmaster did this with their VTubers.
Oh.
So
I heard about that.
The VA Live, I think is how you pronounce it. VA Live. I forget how you read their unit name. They had a VTuber project that was 3 girls. They followed the typical Idolmaster format of a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one. And they were told too that they only had a year to like build like a platform and like build a following. And if if Lord Bamco decided that they didn't do well enough, they weren't going to get a chance to debut. But they were given like decent models. They were given the chance to like they had 3D models pretty early too, I think. So they could do dances because Cosmo is like really known for dancing. And they had the year, and then I guess they succeeded because they did get to have an official debut, and now they're counted as part of one of the in-world fictional agencies. Like they were revealed to be part of oh my god, 886 something. 86, I want to say 861, but I might be wrong with the numbers. But it's the unit where Dearly Stars was.
Ah, okay, maybe this wasn't the one I heard.
That's pretty neat.
I thought they also have similar stuff with like voice acting too, right? Like, do they have like trial voice actors and stuff? Because I thought I heard something, or it could be the same thing. I just misremembering, huh?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they have it also for voice actors, but I know that was what they did for their VTubers. Granted, it's only those 3. They don't have any other VTubers.
The concept of a VTuber feels wild. You know, like. There are like I mean the concept of like esports schools was wild a while back haha. But nowadays it's like kind of the norm, so maybe if VTubing becomes more mainstream in that sense, there would be more schools. But also I mean, did you guys know there was an English Academy thing? Maybe this is like forgotten.
Maybe this is a deep cut. Forgotten lore.
Forgotten lore. But it did exist. Well, I don't know how much I can say about this. Let me think about it. I'm gonna say all of the public info that has been released before, but there was an English, what is it? A English quote-unquote school academy, if you will, where you're written on the website. You were supposed to learn how to stream as a VTuber, and you'll get like guide through the courses, blah blah blah, and you'll be like given a VTuber model, I believe, so that you could kind of like jumpstart that way. Not the Ironmost VTuber Academy. No, this was by an agency. It was like their side gig. Well, it really was. It was like a side branch that they were starting a la VTA. Like it's just like if Nijisanji's VTA, this like English VTuber agency, also had like a side branch.
I think some of their official information also said that they would help you if you wanted to go corporate, right? Because they had some like internal connections where you could like network for your audition and maybe get scouted by an agency if you passed the classes.
Ha! Something about like a certificate or something? Dear Lord.
That's just what I remember when I was looking at the benefits of it. I was huh. How's that gonna work? Okay.
And they were backed by a very, very undisclosed, famous, like, JP thing. That was never fully disclosed. It sounds cringe. I would kind of agree with you on that. Actually, looking back, it does sound kind of cringe.
Explaining what was there on paper, it does sound kind of cringe.
It's laminated.
Laminated paper wobble sound effect.
Oh dear Lord. Like, realistically, there was no downside because you weren't paying for the quote-unquote courses. You weren't, well, actually I don't know if they mentioned that you would be paying for the model. But anyways, like, you would be able to earn your model if you completed X amount of blah blah blah. If you stay through the entire course, I think that's what they said, and that they were gonna do like a multiple classes too, but they were gonna start off small. I think they were like, oh, we're gonna like open up to like 4 different classes. Actually, a lot of this might be truly lost media because the Twitter channels and stuff no longer exist.
Oh,
but this was all public information.
So it crashed and burned. Interesting.
I mean, what? To be fair, I don't think they even like released the first gen. But yeah, I mean, I read all of the public Twitter stuff. So
yeah,
it was played around, but unfortunately, the concept of like a VTuber academy or schooling in English VTuber landia didn't turn out very well. So there is a little bit of like a sour taste to that concept.
I do know too, though, that there's like what is the name? Lucid. Lucid is offering like part of the benefits to, because they're doing more of an adoption model with their VTubers, it seems now. But I know that one of the perks they offer is like courses that happen throughout a month where they teach you like small things about content creation. And it's part of like the benefits of working with them is that you can like take those courses to learn how to do like video editing or like audio work or like the more back end type of like stuff in order to produce stuff. I think they're mostly looking for people that are already pretty self-sufficient and just want to make their skills more heightened. But I know that was one of the things that they offered. So I think the idea of courses exists in like a small forum. Yeah. In that like maybe some agencies are offering like internal lessons and guidance on how to make content. But it isn't specifically being marketed as like a VTuber academy where you're going to learn from the ground up. They're kind of hoping they don't have to teach you the basics.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the stuff that you learn as a content creator, either you learn through like friends or like just talking to other people who have a bit of knowledge about it, or you get stuck at some point and you're just like, I need to solve this issue. How on earth am I going to do this? And then you kind of search it up yourself. But sometimes you don't know.
Have you ever like researched like a specific topic outside of like VTuber advice? Because I know that's what I had to do with like certain audio things, and I'm probably gonna have to do it when I start teaching myself video editing next.
A lot of it does come through like, I have a vision, I don't know how to make it real. So that most of the time is either video effects or when I'm making like music video stuff, there's a specific style or things. I do learn from not really copying, but like recreating scenes and things. I generally learn really well from that type of experience. So if I see a content creator, like see a video with like aspects that I really like how something flies in or zooms out, my brain would be like, okay, how do I recreate that for my video?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And for me though, one thing that I can never wrap my head around is audio engineering.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm learning like very bare bones stuff for cover mixing, but I feel like the minute I get to the actual engineering part, my brain's gonna be like, I don't know.
It's also like the same issues. Like, I know where I want to get it to, but I don't know how to get it there, and I don't know how to explain it to someone. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I make the shorts and stuff, sometimes my song cover shorts, I'm like, dang, I would have liked it if the audio was crisper. But like, I don't know how to do that. But I also don't know like how to reach out to someone to say, I want it crisper, but like not like the apple crisp type of crisp, but like a chewy, crunchy cookie on the outside crisp. Like I don't know how to explain it. That's my problem.
I think it gets harder to think in technical terms when you're learning, because if you don't know the technical terms, it becomes a lot harder to articulate what you want, or even to figure out like how to learn how to do it too. Because for me, when I was learning vocal tuning, there was a part of tuning that I did not understand, and I was like, how do I fix that part? And then I found out that the actual technical term was just like the squiggles. And I was like, really? Okay, so me calling it the squiggles is actually going to make sense to somebody.
Ah, interesting. No, and it's also very, sometimes it's very software dependent too.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't use After Effects, for example, because a lot of people use what's that one?
They're
DaVinci,
switching
right?
to DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah. A lot of people use DaVinci, and if you come into a problem, you'll have to find someone else that knows DaVinci. You need to find someone that doesn't do DaVinci, but sometimes like their suggestions could nudge you in the right way, kind of deal.
True. I do think like having the base skills can still cross over no matter what base platform. I know that's like I don't know if it's a big talking point, but I know a lot of times when I see mixers talking about people learning how to mix, they always say that like the DAW doesn't really matter. As long as you kind of understand like where the tool is in your respective DAW, you can learn whether you're using like FL Studio or whether you're using some like knockoff program or Reaper or whatever. As long as you figure out where everything is in your layout, you can then take whatever you're learning, even if someone is using a different program, and then just apply it to yours.
Yeah, like most of the times for my audio mixing, it is just plugins. So being able to like understand all the knobs, it doesn't matter which DAW you're using it in, but I sometimes don't understand all the knobs. I press a preset.
Me too.
I'm like, okay, that sounds
and I'm like, all right, that sounds fine. It does what I wanted.
And then if we presented it to like an audio engineer, they're gonna like go in shambles, like be on the floor and rolling. I was like, it works for now. Like at my level, it works for now. Maybe not in a couple of like months. Sometimes improvement happens in months. Sometimes it happens in years, and sometimes you go backwards.
True.
But all you can do is just march forward, kind of deal.
How much of your content creation do you think, I guess this is like a investment question maybe. When do you find it's best to invest your money in getting somebody else to do work that you're struggling with versus investing time to try and teach yourself how to do it so you don't have to spend the money? Like what do you kind of prioritize with money and time, two of the most valuable resources?
Honestly,
or do you kind of like, how do you split it?
Yeah, honestly, really true. Right now I've been focusing I guess
it's okay, it's a hard
depends
question.
on the importance exclamation mark of the project. For example, like if it's a song cover or something, then I'm okay.
Yeah, would your instinct be to invest in mixing, or would it be to invest in pretty art?
For me, it would be the art, because that's like I think I've actually, out of the entire like music song cover development process, my weakest links are timing, mastering, or like mixing, but and art. Those are the biggest three things. I can wave my hands around for the other parts, but out of those three, art would be the hardest thing for me to make it the way I want it to look. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
if I were able to invest in any if I could only invest in one option, it would be art, and then I would just wave my hands on the mixing and things, even though I'm not the best. But for something like an original song, on the other hand, I might invest more in the mixing part, because I want that to
that's
sound
gonna
really
be like
good.
that's gonna be the definitive version of it too.
Exactly.
So like you want to make sure it sounds really, really good.
Yeah, and then the art, I could play around with it. Like, I don't necessarily have to make the most stunning picture. Though, I guess, like, for song covers, I don't have to make it look with the most amazing picture either, but... I really like to reuse assets. So, if I were to get, like, one art, I don't mind making multiple covers with that same artwork. Which is a video that I'm kind of trying to sit down and write. But the concept of reusing assets is very valuable as a content creator.
I think that's true, and I also think as VTubers, we are scared to reuse assets, even if we like even if you pay for the art and have the rights to use it in whatever way, and like in multiple ways, there's still something about like, oh, but I used it for this thing, I don't want to use it again. People are gonna get so bored seeing this art piece everywhere.
Yeah, it's like when someone commissions one skeb and you only use it for that one promotional picture on your Twitter, where like maybe 90% of your audience doesn't even see. Maybe not the best use of your money.
I always forget that I have fan art that I can use for thumbnails. My instinct is always, I'm gonna make my model make a silly face, or like I'm gonna do this with this, and then I forget that I have art, and I feel bad because people will get skebs of me, and then I really only use them for like the schedule post, and then I don't really use them anywhere else, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
No, even do you reuse the artworks for schedules, or?
Sometimes. I try not to be too much of a repeater, but once I run out of art, I do have to repeat. And for that, I don't really mind as much, especially like, I mean, on Twitter, I feel like it doesn't matter as much because most people are just there to see what the streams are anyway. And then on YouTube, I kind of crop the schedule so that it only shows the schedule part, and the art isn't always like the most visible when you're looking at the preview image on the channel post. So I don't really mind repeating it that much there. I still try to avoid it just because I like seeing all of the different pieces of artwork, but I will repeat if needed.
Yeah.
And yet I don't do it for thumbnails or for like any other project. When I get an art piece, I'm like, oh, this is for this cover, and then I won't use it anywhere else. Goodbye.
Realistically speaking, you can reuse the same artwork for multiple thumbnails on YouTube and stuff. Honestly speaking, how many like flesh YouTubers, how many faces can you make?
Yeah, that's true. You can only make so many faces, and so you have to have the template of your same like 6 faces, and then you just reuse them and like change the pose, kind of. I mean, I do that with some of my models' expressions too. Like I have set ones. I have like one where I'm looking to the right, one where I'm looking to the left, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And those I will also repeat, but I feel like that's also because it's kind of mimicking the YouTuber style of my face in the thumbnail is there's like a pattern, or like there's a little bit of a consistency there for branding. I don't know why I don't think to do the same thing with like covers or like other uploads. I guess I just get nervous. I'm just like, what if it's not interesting?
It's true. It's one thing that I had to like think about too. Like, it's wild to think that I had to think about this for music covers, because generally when even like the V singers in general, they don't reuse artwork for across like multiple music covers or song covers, even though, well, first of all, sometimes they specifically want an outfit that is referencing the original song, or it's like aesthetically it doesn't fit if you reuse the same design again and again. But I think that kind of plays too with like song recognition versus like being different. Like, I always use this example, King. Everyone uses that one pose. One like you're sitting in the chair, ripping open your mouth, holding a crown, right? Like, that is what King is as a song. If you reuse that asset somewhere else, someone's gonna be like, isn't that the King asset?
Isn't that King song?
Yeah, like I don't think that would work in that sense, but
Yeah, I guess if you have like a artwork that's maybe less geared towards the one song, then it becomes a little bit better
like
to
if
use
you're in
it
a
in multiple places.
School outfit for any like graduation songs or something like that.
True.
Yeah. I would say that, yeah. I would love
reusing King for a Queen cover.
Hold on. Why is there a smart detection? That's weird. Let me allow this chat. 1 second. There we go. I'm doing composing and arranging for 8 years. What I've learned is it's better to leave the mixing and mastering to professionals. Yeah. I can do basic mixing and it will sound reasonably good, but if you want publishing level, you need the pros. Yeah, it's just that final polish, right? especially if you want to like publish it everywhere as part of your like portfolio, in a sense of like songs that you created, like you original songs that you made. But I don't even know any mixers that do like that help mix master original songs, because a lot of song covers and stuff for mixers, for those they only allow like say 4 tracks. But if you're giving a song,
yeah, they'll have limitations on the amount of like extra harmonies or like ad-libs or layers that you want to do.
Yeah,
and they'll start charging you more if you want to have more.
Yeah, and when usually when like you do original songs, you're given the stems of every single instrument that's used. So that list could be like 20 to 25 instruments, or it could be 4. I mean, like the simple four instrument style isn't wrong or anything, but there's a lot of like digital effects these days that use a lot of other extra stems. How's that gonna be priced, huh? I don't know.
I have no idea either.
I've been playing around in Logic Pro recently, so I've been playing with Bates. Are you familiar with the Hybe groups for K-pop?
A little bit. I see their videos recommended on my YouTube For You page.
Okay, that's all you need to know about
them.
Yeah. So recently they've been kind of criticized for having all of their groups sound exactly the same. Like they all use the same pattern of like specific drum patterns and things, and like the sequence of like chorus, verse, like anyways. They all sound very similar across all of their groups, and people are like, why do they all sound the same? Like you have different groups for different, like a reason, right? Like why do they all sound the same? They all sound like New Jeans. So I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe I can do a pattern like that too. What is this New Jeans pattern? I'm gonna copy it. Yeah,
the Felynne deRouge pattern.
Yeah, that's mine. It's mine now.
Original, do not steal.
Yeah. But have you been playing around with like any music related stuffs in general?
I mean, I mentioned it, but I have Melodyne. I'm learning how to vocal tune. I'm learning. I'm growing.
If you have any questions, feel free to poke me. That's a tool I've been using for a long time. I could like people. Well, do you time in? I call it Melody. I know it's called Melodyne, but I don't know why I call it Melodyne.
It looks like it would be read as Melodyne, so I get it. No, a lot of the tutorials I watched said that the timing tools in Melodyne aren't the greatest. So I've kind of figured out how to do the tuning part. When it comes to timing, I'm gonna try to learn how to do it in Reaper.
Yeah,
because I used to use like a different like dumb free program, but they changed how their timing works, and it causes like really ugly overlapping that I don't like when I try to sync it up. So, and I can't really fix it in the ways that I used to be able to. So instead of worrying about all that, I'm just gonna learn how to do it in Reaper because it seems to work similar to how that program used to do it.
Yeah, timing. I have to move my timing to Reaper all the time. So it is. And it's because of the you're able to be more like fine-tune well, I don't even know what it's called, the functions, the timing functions in Reaper is, I feel like, is far more superior than a lot of the other DAWs that I've played with for audio tuning. Audio timing. And then I yeet it all into Melodyne afterwards for the tuning part. So I do timing first. Actually, yeah, I do timing first and then tuning. And then during the tuning, I fine-tune the timing even a little bit, just a little bit more in Melodyne.
Yeah, one of the friends, I always remember that she used to say that she did tuning first because it was easier versus like when you've hard timed something and you have all of those like cutoffs and like the way the notes don't sound like how they did when you originally sang them, it becomes a bit harder to find where they were. So her advice was always to tune it first, and then since it already sounds how it's supposed to, it becomes a lot easier to match it syllable by syllable.
I used to do tuning first. But it's to help me streamline the process a bit, because I open up like my original DAW and then I have to open up Reaper and then I have to open up Melodyne. If I did it the other way,
yeah, that's fair.
It'd be like But there are two camps, guys. There are people that are like, oh no, Yuno-chan, where did you go? Yuno-chan, no!
It disconnected me.
Oh my gosh! You just disappeared!
Oh my god, I died. I'm rapidly disconnecting. Where am I going?
Oh my gosh, is
Help,
this the...
I'm in jail.
No, is this the Steam updating? Like
my god, right. That does happen on Tuesdays.
Oh my gosh, Yuno-chan, no! Let me say, I'll quickly throw in a ping. Give me a second. I'll give you the... Hold on. Save image. Save image. I can fix this. I can fix...
Finish back to Onigashima. I left. Help me.
Thanos snapped right in front of my eyes.
Yeah, I saw the flash of you disappearing and I was like, oh no.
Oh,
I thought my internet was dying. I thought my computer was gonna explode.
I can fix this. I can fix this. At least your voice is still here. Hold on.
Yeah.
There
I'm not gone. I'm just a voice in your head.
I'll put a ping. Hold on. I can fix it. I can fix it.
That's the exact face I made when it disconnected. I was like, oh my god. Where'd I go?
I can fix this. Oh my gosh. There we go.
No, VTuber Studio never change.
Oh my gosh. See, it was as if nothing happened. There we go. Hold on, I need to give you your outline. Oh no, but if I give you your outline, then it will go on top of me. Oh well. There we go. There we go. It's fixed. We're all good now. Okay, maybe your hair should be on the back. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, what were we talking about?
I totally forgot. I got so distracted when I disappeared. I went away.
We're talking about mixing or
I think you were saying something about 2 different camps.
Oh yeah, right. There's 2 different camps. People who are adamant about doing tuning first and people who are adamant about doing timing first. And whenever you're in a group project, whenever you're doing a song covers with people, we usually you see like those 2 people fight if they're not the same person.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Oh, collabs. We haven't talked much about like collabing content.
That's crazy because we're collabing right now.
I know, right? No, because like there are people that say like collabing is generally bad for VTubers and or like content creators, but also I don't know. A lot of my favorite YouTubers collab.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I see collabs as inherently bad. That said, considering a lot of VTubers primarily stream their collabs, I don't necessarily know if there are a lot of ways that they are good. It depends on the kind of collab, and it kind of depends like how you frame it to your audience, as well as like what you're doing platformally, ? Because, like, for example, a collab like what we're doing, which is just a Zatsu, wouldn't make sense for me to also stream it. You'd just be looking at the same thing, and you would just hear my stream audio, I guess. the difference would mostly be an audio quality thing at that point. Just because, like, on my side, they would be hearing your Discord audio and then my stream audio versus the reverse, where they can hear your stream quality and then my Discord quality.
Hold on. You know a wild idea that I have? What if, for, like, a Zatsu collab like this, each person streams their VOD, so that, like, their POV, so that you have to tune into both of them at once in order to hear the entire conversation.
Oh, so, like, you're completely muted on my side, and then you mute me on yours. You have to listen to both streams. You free next week?
Let's do it.
Sounds awesome.
Because I was talking about this, like, how music, there are some songs where in an album you're supposed to overlap the two songs so that they make into one song. But it was so funny. The desyncing would be an issue, but it might not be as big of an issue for just Zatsu content. Think when a weather reporter goes out into the wild. How do they do it?
They let them out into nature.
Yeah.
And you're, like, talking to them with a satellite feed or whatever. Yeah. That's kind of what it would be like. Thered be a little bit of a delay, but I think for the most part, the timing would be fine.
I think so. We would just have, like, a bunch of millennial pauses, but...
Millennial pause.
Also, sorry to phone viewers. I mean, as the Blizzard person says, do you guys not have two phones?
Do you guys not have two phones?
Also, sorry to TV users. Well, you just have to put one on your phone. Put one on your TV. Easy.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
So funny. Oh, that's such a devious idea. I like it. I'll think about that.
But no, like, back to the topic about collabs, I think. For Zatsus like this, it makes sense to just have one person stream the POV normally.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing something devious. But then, like, with games, I think you kind of have to be careful too, especially because game collabs, you tend to have more people present for those. And then you kind of have to do the whole, like, who's gonna stream their POV and who isn't? Are we gonna set up, like, some sort of multi-stream link? Like, what is the name of that platform that people use when, like, everybody has a POV? Holodecks?
Something like that.
I don't remember what it's called. But there's, like, some platform you can use that lets you watch multiple streams at once. But then that kind of hurts everybody's viewership. Or you do the thing where you prioritize the POV of your Oshi. But then you're not really checking out the other people in the collab, which can be kind of hurtful. There's, like, a lot of different ways to approach it that I do think tend to harm more than help.
Yeah, I think if we're strictly speaking on streaming content, it might not be the best. But I feel like there's, at least for, like, videos or shorts and stuff. Actually, shorts is an interesting one. I don't think I've experimented too much about, like, shorts collabs outside of music.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I have to wonder how that would work too. I know the edited videos you could probably get away with collaborating a lot more easily, and I think it would be a lot more digestible to people, especially because, like, if you look at YouTube, they have the shared upload thing you can do now where you add a user who, like, authorizes that they're okay with being included as a collaborator, and then you see the video listed as, like, I guess in our case it would be a video listed under both Felynne and so it would go out to both our audiences because we are connected that way and we're, like, sharing it.
Yeah.
So it starts pushing it to both channels, or, like, both channels' audiences.
Yeah, that'd be... And then, like, if you do a long-form collab, sometimes, like, each person uploads a different video that's related to the same topic. I like those ones too.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and then they're all kind of released at the same time, so you can see like two different POVs, but also like separate topics, so they could be viable as like individual videos on their own. Let's see, there's a question. Would YouTube ever add a co-stream option combining both chats and POVs? I feel like...
No, you think YouTube cares about streaming?
Yeah, it's a very, very specific niche. Like, think
and
about...
Twitch has tried options like that before, like 2 or 3 different times, and both times those features don't really get used, and it just kind of dies.
It gets abused, actually, right? Like the co-chatting thing. People just like join, like they knock first of all, and then they join into the co-chat, but then they don't actually stream. It's just like passively doing something.
Yeah.
But no, YouTube, I mean, YouTube couldn't even figure out how to put the gaming stuff onto YouTube. Remember that?
Yes. Average Farm remembers.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of dumb, yeah. They keep updating the combined chats and how it works too. So at one time it counted as both streamers like viewership numbers, and then sometimes it counted one person's viewership numbers, and then it's really confusing. But like how do you know you can chat in each person's chat box and it goes, I don't remember much. I should probably check it out again.
It was like a weird feature. But like, because it's so unpopular, I don't really foresee YouTube even thinking to try something like that.
Yeah.
Because if not, even Twitch can pull it off, and Twitch is technically still the main platform for streaming. I don't think they would try to make something like that. I always say this too when talking about the differences between YouTube and Twitch streaming. YouTube streaming was always intended to be something that you not have an active participation in. When it started, it was supposed to be for like special events that like, yes, we're being streamed live, but like you were just supposed to interact with the other chatters, and you weren't really supposed to be talking to the person that was streaming. It was there for the special event.
It's just like the premiering,
versus Twitch,
right?
where it was about the streamer. Yeah, not just premieres though. Like when YouTube Live started, it was always intended to be for like those big YouTubers that were like, I'm doing a 24-hour charity stream. And then you could just chat about what was going on the stream, but they weren't really going to be reading chat. They were going to be too busy running their event. It was meant to be a more passive experience that prioritized viewers interacting with viewers. Meanwhile, Twitch has always been putting viewers first and like gamifying the experience for viewers so that they're more encouraged to be active and engaging with their streamer. So I feel like a lot of the things that YouTube has done or has tried to do has been less about the YouTuber to fan interaction. They don't really prioritize that. YouTube latency is still so pee poo poo butt.
Even though it's
like
ultra
Twitch.
low, yeah.
Because they don't really expect you to be using it for the sake of like viewer engagement or for the sake of like that like direct audience interaction type of thing. They're not really expecting you to be using it for that.
Right. That kind of explains how much the chat struggles, yeah. Like on YouTube. And usually I see it pop up on my Stream Elements thing before I see it in chat.
Yeah, I definitely have seen my pop-up appear way faster than when it shows up in the overlay that I use.
That's kind of akin to like Billy live streaming, I feel like you know like the Nico Nico, when the text for videos in general, when the comments kind of fly through the screen.
Yeah.
It's like for audience interactions, not so much for the creators' attention and stuff. Yeah.
I agree. I think that's something to keep in mind when it comes to the weird decisions YouTube makes. Because I'm always just like, YouTube doesn't really prioritize their streams still. They have to put a lot more of their energy into the experience of watching videos. And I guess at this point, shorts also take a little bit of a priority now. But like live streaming, I think is always going to be near the bottom because VTubers, I guess if you want to like stick to that niche specifically, use it for fan engagement, which was not what it was engineered for. And even when YouTube tried to do like the whole YouTube gaming thing where they bought out Twitch streamers to then come to YouTube, did any of them stay past that buyout contract? I don't think so. And it's because they realized that the YouTube platform was just overall way worse than the experience they had on Twitch. So they all went back, or they started multi-streaming.
Yeah. No, the I think YouTube was trying to push out more mobile streaming focused things too. Like, you know how you can throw galaxies and things on TikTok or Instagram Live and stuff. You can do stuff like that on YouTube now, I believe. Sometimes I see a message, but like, again, it's for the audience's enjoyment, because I can't see any of those stickers or things pop up. I just get a little notification that something happened, but I can't see it because I'm looking at OBS and OBS doesn't provide me anything.
Yeah. The jewels or whatever. Yeah. I think like a lot of those features do tend to be for the gamification of the content. I used to be hesitant about Twitch because so much of it was gamified. I liked the more, not to call it hands off, but I liked the more minimalistic, like, you are here to watch me. The focus is on me. I also think that's why a lot of VTubers have the rule of like, don't talk about other streamers on YouTube. I see that rule less on Twitch unless they're trying to mimic the YouTube style of VTubing.
Oh, interesting.
Because I think there's more focus on community, and like going back to some VTubers, when they're promoting themselves on Twitter, they only get other VTubers. Like, I think when you have a lot of VTubers in your audience, the leniency kind of comes in where it's like, well, they're the only people talking, so I guess they can self-promo. I guess we can just treat this like that kind of chat. Versus YouTube, where it's more strictly like, there's latency between you and me. The focus should be on me and what I say. I will take a break and acknowledge you occasionally, but there's like less direct live feedback in that way, so it becomes more driven by the creator versus Twitch, where it's a lot of times, I feel like a lot of Twitch streams tend to be about what you do to the streamer. Like Twitch integrated throwing system, for example.
Yeah. Or like any of the channel points. Yeah, when you redeem something's supposed to happen kind of deal, and then it's like an instant reaction.
It lets you play with the anime girl on the screen, or like the streamer on the screen, and they have some sort of crazy reaction like immediately, or you can get them to drop what they're doing and do a reaction to something you did. It lets you feel like you're part of the content, and Twitch has always been like that. That's what I mean by gamification. They make it so that you can play with the streamer and you have that sort of direct one-to-one dynamic in a more immediate format. Versus YouTube, where YouTube was always meant to be the more passive watching experience, and you can chat with other chatters, but it's rare that the streamer would be interacting with you, or if they did, it would be on a bit of a delay.
Yeah, that's very true. Which is why I think the chat dynamic is different between the two systems too. Like,
yeah,
the chat behavior, just the overall atmosphere does feel a little different, which is why I was a little bit hesitant in putting like multi-streaming and like merging the chats together. But I mean, it still feels like it's like two different communities, and occasionally they'll poke fun at each other type of deal. I see that. But it's like no, for Twitch, I just feel like I don't think I've quite gotten the grasp of Twitch streaming, even though in theory I have more experience streaming on Twitch over YouTube. Like recently, like all these another tweet that's like being passed around is like, what's your percentage on Twitch? Like what's your rank on Twitch? And like they're saying, oh, so many VTubers are actually like in the 1% to 2%, or like even less. They're like, oh, I'm so surprised I got 0.0 something rank on Twitch, and I'm like, I don't want to look at mine.
I was about to say, I don't think I want to look at mine. Kudos to you guys that are willing to look at that, but I don't think I want to look at mine.
Yeah. But like,
crazy to me.
Yeah, it's I still feel so small compared to like the YouTube community that I've been building with like all of the different types of content that I've been outputting. Granted, they don't really mix well with each other, but the different pockets in the community is less seen because of that distance between the viewers and the content creator over there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Meanwhile, I think if you prioritize Twitch, maybe there's a little bit more of like a direct connection to the Twitch audience that maybe they feel like they get less of if they try to watch more of what you do on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, Twitch has tried doing what, like shorts like things.
They have like Instagram type stories too, where you can like post a story or whatever. I've never done it, but I always see it on like the For You page that's like, open the stories. And I'm like, no.
But what
I don't
is
think I will.
Though? Like, is it just a clip from...
I can tell you. I'm looking at the open stories right now.
Yeah, I need to go find this.
Well, this person is using it to promote a new model reveal.
Oh.
And then if you let it play all the way through, it immediately sends you to their channel.
Oh, interesting.
So I guess it's kind of meant to be like direct promotion in that way.
Maybe this is something I'll have to ask Chad. Is like, do you actually check out the stories that much versus just getting the notification to check out the stream that's going live?
Yeah, you have to wonder, because this person posted the story 8 hours ago.
Oh.
They're live right now.
Huh.
So I guess you can post them pretty far in advance.
Okay, so yeah, it does act pretty similar to Instagram then. And I hate the Instagram algorithm. Like, this is something I've
never used Instagram, so this is all gonna be foreign to me.
No, it just sucks because like I do get a lot of events and things that are happening on Instagram, but like it's never in chronological order unless you like sort it by For You, right? It's just like Twitter's algorithm. But
yeah,
a lot of people use Instagrams for like limited time events and things. But the algorithm doesn't care. They'll show you like an event that happened 2 months ago. And then you're like, ooh, what is this? And then you click on it and it's like, oh wait, it's already ended. Blah. Instagram DMs are no longer gonna be private?
What? That's gonna be a mess.
Wait, you mean end-to-end encryption or is this some other thing? What? Instagram DM private. Meta can now technically access message content for moderation or law enforcement. Ew. Yeah, so it's not end-to-end. Which is...
Ooh.
Ew. Yeah. It's gross. I don't know, people have been saying like, oh, you should upload content to either Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, I hear some creators can do really well on those platforms, but like, I don't know, man. And that doesn't feel like the kind of audience I'd want to market to, just in my opinion.
That's one extra social media to kind of manage, yeah. I don't know.
How do you feel about sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
I was just gonna ask my perspective when it comes to adding a new platform to my list of platforms that I use. I always kind of try to figure out like one type of unique thing I can do on that platform too, so that there's some sort of value versus just reposting stuff. Like back when management really wanted me to use TikTok, I was like, if I do that, I'm gonna have to come up with stuff that's like unique to TikTok.
Right.
I don't want to just use it to repost my shorts. I know that would technically still work, but I didn't want to just have it be like that. And I was like that with Twitch as well. I was very hesitant when they tried to push me to also have a Twitch, because I was gonna have to then add what I felt was like a more unique experience to Twitch, so that people would still want to see value in like going there instead of just sticking on YouTube. Do you think it's important to have that kind of like, I don't want to call it like full diversity, but like the idea of just starting another platform just to repost stuff to get them to come to the other ones just doesn't feel valuable to me?
I think in a sense, so what I'm doing right now with Instagram is actually I'm just reposting all of my shorts. I'm just trying to see if it actually works. This is an experiment. I haven't quite reached a conclusion yet, but for example, like TikTok, I do agree with that. If you're trying to promote like TikTok specific videos, it's not gonna have the same reception on YouTube, which is why I always saw an inverse of viewers for a short that does well on TikTok versus like a short that does well on a TikTok that does well on TikTok. Like ones that do well on YouTube generally don't do as well on TikTok and vice versa. So if I do see something that is not working well on YouTube, it would be maybe an okay idea to like test it out on different algorithms. But I always have to gauge like how much value at the end of the day is posting, like doing all this extra work gonna get me. I've actually stopped using my TikTok because I feel like I've been completely like shadow banned, even though they say they haven't banned me for anything. They just no longer push out any of my posts, so I might as well just like make a new one if I do go back to TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram is doing not too shabby. I can be what's it called, marketing smarty pants and say my following increased roughly 4x ish since I started the account maybe like a week or two ago. But that's from
that's
like
honestly not bad.
23 followers to 200 almost.
I mean, that's still pretty good considering you're like locking in on it now.
Yeah. Basically, I've been using this site called Bplan, I think, and just uploaded, like mass uploaded 30, because there's a limit to the free tier, 30
Makes
shorts, and then just scheduled it. So I don't have to worry about this until a month later when I upload another batch, which I think is the most like a better use of my time than doing it on TikTok or something like that. But I don't know if anyone has come from Instagram, but if you've been popping in from Instagram, say hello.
Please do. That would be fascinating. I don't know what the VTuber space is like over there.
Yeah, same here. Like, I don't do any regular posts. It's just all reels. There was an Instagram. see? I don't know what to do with my Instagram. That's the problem. Like, okay, now I have an Instagram. Now, like, what good would it help? Like, what value would it bring to me or my content or my viewers? I do not know that yet. I do know a lot of brand deals and things care about Instagram numbers. So if that's like
I
some
know
direction.
Instagram is a bigger one they look at now versus like your Twitter or what have you.
Yeah. Maybe that would help with like sponsorships and that stuff, but
I think you'd get a lot of stuff that would involve like unboxings.
Yeah. Flesh tubing.
Because they'd want you to post a reel of you unboxing a PR package.
Yeah. So maybe there's some hope. Maybe I should start following some game companies. Do they post on Instagram? I don't even know. I feel so old. Like, what? Huh?
Good question.
Yeah. Have you been like working on like looking for sponsorships and stuff for your content? Or is this like a passive when someone
for
like
sponsorships is hard. I feel like, and this is something I probably should have listened to back when I was corporate. I was warned that if I said yes to too many free opportunities, I'd probably be stuck in the free tier forever. But I do regularly get emails from game publishers, game makers, people that have gaming opportunities, and they're like, hey, promote our game, please. Do I get any value of it? Out of it? Not always. It's usually just a chance to get to play a game. And sometimes they'll offer like a code in order to like access the full game, which to me I do see as valuable because it means I don't really have to buy games as much anymore. But that kind of ends up being the only sense of value. I got paid to play a demo for an otome game once. One time. And then after that, most of the other opportunities have mostly just been free promotion on my part because I like to support small projects. So maybe that's also a me thing, but I haven't gotten a lot of opportunities that are like fully paid from the get-go, or if I try to negotiate pay, they mention they can't really pay much, or we're hoping I wasn't gonna ask for money. So I'm like, well, I mean, I tried. I do say no sometimes though, because I have to be more careful with my time. I don't necessarily want my whole schedule to be obligations to companies I said yes to with the game. So that's just how it looks for me. I haven't really tried to network or like see what would be available for someone of my size for like paid sponsorships.
Someone mentioned like they didn't know that sponsorships can be free. They can usually. Like...
It's not that it's free though, because if you think about it, you are receiving an exchange of like a good and service. If you look at Twitch has a listing to make your stream marked as branded. And branded counts if you received anything as compensation for the stream that you are doing. In my case, I am still making something branded, which thus means quote-unquote sponsored, because I got the Steam key for the full release of a game. Even if that game is only like $16 on Steam, I am still technically being compensated by receiving that copy of the game in like its full capacity, because they don't take it away. Like once I have it, I have it.
Right.
So
I mean,
I'm receiving something in exchange of giving my honest thoughts on it, even if it doesn't seem like a lot. So it technically is, but it's also not like money in my bank type of sponsorship.
Yeah, like exchange of goods. Like that's generally what I notice. Like a lot of sponsorships. Like a lot of sponsorships will say like we'll give you something to test out. Sometimes you have to return the item though.
Yeah, for physical items, I actually, this is not to name drop my senpai, but Isla Coleman actually mentioned that there was potentially going to be a time where she was going to get to work with a company that makes like anime merch and like figures, and they sent her a figure that she was going to be able to review for a video, but then the company exploded. And she was supposed to send it back because she was only going to be able to have it for like a brief window of time, and then management was just like, well, since we're closing, we don't really see a point in you trying to ship this back to us in Japan, so you keep it. And they like covered it for her. But like there are things like that where you get the chance to like look at a cool thing, and then they're gonna kind of expect you to ship it back. Like you don't get to keep it necessarily, but there would be some value in keeping something like that if that were an option. That's kind of where you have to decide what counts as valuable to you. So I usually don't say yes to opportunities for games anymore unless I get something like the full release Steam code, or maybe they offer some sort of like behind the scenes look at something, or like an exclusive look, so that way it's more lucrative to me to do something that's exclusive versus just a demo that got sent out to any creator that breathes. Or like a demo that was already free on Steam. That's where I'm like, I don't know if that's worth it to me, because everyone else can play this.
Yeah, I get that a lot too. Like the check us out on Steam. Here's like the press kit. The full release comes soon, but they don't like provide the full key or anything. That kind of deters me. But there's also a lot of games that I'm like, this isn't even the genre of game I'm playing. I don't know what list I ended up on, but this is like not it. What's the pricing range for sponsorship? Like the least to most expensive. I mean, that really depends.
It really depends on your numbers. I can tell you, I've watched a few videos where people talk about like their early days of sponsorships. Depending on your primary platform, you're going to be kind of given like a ballpark range based on your numbers on that platform. Something else to keep in mind too, if you primarily stream, they're going to look at your CCV rather than your follower count. So do keep that in mind. My YouTube has nearly 16K subscribers, but because my CCV is not 16K, I would be getting offered pretty low rates for a stream sponsorship opportunity because they know my CCV is low. Conversely, if they knew that I was getting a lot of views per video, I would probably get paid more for a video spot because I have nearly 16K like subscribers. If they even decided that was big enough. Some people won't even look at you unless you have like 50 or higher, like 50K or higher, I mean, or like 100 plus CCV. Ballparks, sometimes you can get paid a couple hundred for something small. I know there was like a YouTuber that I watched who mentioned his first sponsorship at I think like 20K subscribers. He got something that was thrown at him at like $1,500 for like a video spot. So like those sponsors that YouTubers get can be pretty lucrative. Channels that seem kind of small could make a lot of money just by nature of getting those like paid 1-minute ad spots.
Yeah, so it really depends on the niche that you are, like the sponsorship type and the niche that you're in as well. So I think a video I watched, it's if you're interested in learning more about like numbers and things, Colin and Samir are pretty good at guiding.
I hear a lot of good things about their stuff.
Yeah, they're really good at like walking through a single creator and how they can improve as a content creator. So one of the examples that they provided was there was a cyclist whose his target audience was what is it called, midlife crises people who suddenly want to start cycling.
That's
like
awesome.
that's literally his niche, that want to start a different hobby. So there's two types of sponsorships. There's like the general sponsors that you hear from, like what is it called, Notion or HelloFresh. Like they generally just sponsor anyone that has fit the CCV or like the viewership requirements and like size and stuff. There's also like more specific sponsors that, maybe they sell you, I don't know, bicycle seats or something like that, right? Those ones would tend to focus more on these like micro niches and probably would pay a better deal in the long run if you decide to like continue working with them, type of thing.
There's also things too with affiliate links. Like they will determine how many people click your affiliate link and actually buy something versus the people that just click it to click it. So they pay attention to like how many new customers did you bring in by having a promo link. That's where you talk about like your gamer subs and your like advanced GGs. They pay attention to how often people click your link to actually buy a product.
So then this person's like short, like a couple, like 3 shorts and stuff can net him around like what, $3,000 for a little ad in a short. It's not even like a long form video. So
the dream.
The dream, really, honestly it is. It also depends on like the ad spot too. So if you are doing like a fully what's it called, a full video on the sponsored product versus just like an insert, like a 30 second you have a 35-minute video with the 30-minute sponsorship ad.
Oh god, 5 minutes of content, let's go.
So the pricing would also depend on that. as well as like how many
Yeah.
views you're guaranteeing them as well. Like,
if we're talking edited content too, the sponsor will also have to approve the video that you're going to be
Yes.
including that sponsor in. Like they are going to care about their brand as well. So if you're like, I'm going to include the sponsor for your product in this video about something really political, they're gonna be like, oh god, no.
Yeah.
or they're gonna say that's fine, and then but they might adjust the pricing because of like whatever the topic is. Like they might not be willing to let you put the spot in that video. But if you have another video that's coming out that's closer to alignment of what they would be willing to let their product be tied to, then they would be more likely to say yes to that video. They also are going to have to approve the ad that you make for them. You're going to have to be, they're going to have like brand ambassadors and like content creator people that like specialize in checking your ad spot to see if it fits with their standards. And if they don't like it, then they're going to make you redo it.
Yeah, so like for my experience and stuff, you have to provide them with like a script, like with like the exact wordings and stuff you want to say about their product and thing, for example, and then they'll get back to you with like either corrections or adjustments. And make sure to limit the number of revisions. Like this is for like all types of commissions in general or sponsorships. For your like base pricing and stuff, you should have a limit to as how many minor or major revisions that you allow before you start charging them more for your time. Because that's something, if a sponsor is very, very, very picky about items, they should not make you change the video like 15 different times.
I think at that point they would probably offer you a template of like what they want you to say and do.
Yeah.
Which some like companies might do. Like brands could be very strict about what they want, and thus they'll have a template that you have to approve to have on your channel. The thing is, you have pretty equal standing when you're talking to the brand. Don't think that you have to just bow down to whatever the brand is going to offer you.
Yes.
You have to also know your own value as a creator. Don't compromise that for money.
Yeah, the negotiations, like make sure everything is written down to the table, like for the contract that you get, make sure all of the things that you negotiated for is on paper and like signed and stuff and improved. Because like one of the earliest examples that I've had, I didn't end up taking this, but basically during the negotiation period, I was they asked for my base pay prices and stuff, so I gave it to them back then. Back then I was such a fool. Gave them very low rates basically, and they're like, okay, can you do this for like X amount of views? And I didn't know back then that you're technically supposed to charge more for like guaranteed views and things. So I was like, I don't. So then I thought, it's like, okay, if I want to reach like their viewership count, I might have to make 2 or 3 videos instead of one video that was originally discussed. So that, for the price that I was like offering, was not worth my time. So I didn't end up taking that sponsorship, but I did learn a couple of things of like, make sure your negotiation period, everything is like good for you, not just for the sponsor.
Someone asked too about the program that Twitch has where you can opt in for sponsorships. That's through Stream Elements. And those will also usually scale based on what they assess your numbers to currently be. So sometimes you can make a decent amount, but that's only if you really maximize like everybody fulfilling all of the rewards for those programs. And that's usually going to end up being your like mobile apps, your mobile games, where the expectation is that new people make accounts. Yeah, that's where your Raid Shadow Legends is, where those goals are going to be based on like the metrics of the people who choose to download the app, and then you earn more money by having your viewers invest more time into the game, and also if the viewers pay money in the game, you get more money. Those can scale a lot. Like, you could get like minimum 20. I think one I saw for just for myself and my numbers, I don't really mind disclosing. I think the max I saw for one once was like 2,500. But that's if everybody did every single goal. Like, if I had all of my viewers at like my highest peak CCV, if everybody downloaded the game and everybody played and got all of the rewards, I would make that much money. Realistically, that would not happen. It is a scale for a reason.
Yeah. There's also Twitch bounties, which kind of act the same, but they pay by like CCV for the game. So you might need to play like 2 hours or 3 hours of a certain game, and then they'll pay I don't know, $40 because your CC fee isn't that high type of thing. So yeah, for streams and stuff, CC fee really, really counts. For long form videos, it's the viewership and consistency across your videos, which is one thing I want to improve on. The only, like, I've seen large content creators like 100Ks or like 500Ks. They usually make or break. The thing that makes or breaks their sponsorships is usually the consistency between their videos. So if they see like a huge dip from one of your videos, you might get slashed that one sponsorship just because you have that video up. If you private that video, and then everything else looks fine, they might come back to you the next day with a better number or something like that, which is
there is a senpai of mine who disclosed to me that she will private videos if it looks like they're not doing well compared to the other ones that she has uploaded. I don't know if she does the same thing with her streams, but I know she definitely does that with videos. So she was like, hey, just so you know, it won't be anything personal if I have to private something of ours. It's just if it doesn't do very well, I have to clean it up.
Yeah. So that's why when you see like content creators get stressed or like burnt out and stuff, sometimes it's because they have to make sure every single video that they output is of the same quality or better, and then if it gets better, then it has to be even better the next time, because it will affect their numbers, like their money numbers. So it's like, if you're a content creator who wants to play the sponsorship game, are you willing to like make sacrifices in that sense, to make videos you might not want to make but they do well, type of thing?
Yeah, it's a constant balance. If you really want to, like, that's where you come into the argument of like, is this creator gonna sell out because they have to, because certain things make money. Going back to talking about the Prince, for example, they were making decent like viewership and like subscriber numbers from doing shorts, but doing so many shorts the way that they did freaking obliterated their desire to ever make a short again. So they just gave up on it and decided to pivot to something that they did like, and now they're also thinking about fully stopping streaming, or at least not doing it the way they did before, or like limiting it to Twitch only, because they want to focus all in on like edited video content and like being a more traditional YouTuber, because that's what they like to do more. But like that's all stuff you kind of have to balance, and like you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of, do you do this thing because you're passionate about it and you think it can work, or do you accept the fate of the algorithm and have to choose the stuff that will guarantee better numbers and maybe more stability, but might alienate people because it feels less authentic or whatever. Authenticity is such a weird topic to me because I feel like anything can be monetizable. And I feel like you shouldn't have to like limit your niche based on what you're doing. Like, there's gonna be a market for like anybody.
Yeah.
Like when I decided to prioritize on like cozy content, like I see plenty of cozy content creators that get like the big paid sponsorships, or like the do like the cool stuff with like the cool brands. Like, you will be marketable. It's just a matter of like showing your hand with like what you like doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, speaking of like the what was that word again? Like the
Authenticity.
Yeah, the authenticity.
Yeah.
Like, we're all content creators. We're not gonna show you every single facet of our lives type of thing already. Like, videos are already curated to a certain sense. I'm like, what is authenticity at this point? Like, I see...
you really can't argue that any creator you see is fully authentic. They can be as genuine as they feel they are willing and able to be. But if you're looking for a creator because you think that they're like the most authentic, you kind of have to. That's where the parasocial, you gotta cut it off at some point, man.
Yeah,
you have to know that there is a boundary, no matter how authentic they may look.
Yeah, so it's just something to think about. Like, if you want to make content, like, what kind of stuff do you want to promote? And then if you're trying to find sponsors, which sponsors align right, like, to what you're trying to promote, and then try to promote yourself to them type of deal.
Yeah, be discerning. Like, obviously know your worth, and if they offer you something that looks really good, you then have to consider if you can stand behind it. Like, I personally don't think I could ever take a sponsorship for something I wouldn't personally use. Or like something I wouldn't personally like be willing to play if I had so and so amount of time or money or whatever. That's why a lot of these games where I'm only really being offered a Steam code, I'm just like, well, I probably would have played this game if I had the money to buy it. So the fact that I'm getting it for free works out for me because then I get to play it and enjoy it and stuff.
Yeah, this Dungeon Claw game that I'm playing so much. How many? Like 60 hours? I'm almost at like 60 hours for it. I only started playing last week. It was.
So if they sponsor you, you'd be like, oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I was like, did you tell me that there's claw machines and roguelikes? Hello? You know me. So yeah, it really depends. Like, I don't go through my entire, like, I do sift through my emails and like pick and choose the games that I think would work for me as well as like my audience type of things. A lot of stuff, like, we don't have another person to help us to sift through things. Like, we're independent content creators, right? Like,
yeah, the bigger you get, the more likely it is that you can get like a manager or somebody who could, or like a brand manager specifically, where their job is to check into every service that wants to sponsor you, and they're like, hey, this company does XYZ thing.
Yeah.
They tend to sponsor XYZ type of creator. This is like generally what they're offering. Like, you could eventually reach a point where somebody could sift through and find all that information for you. But doing it by yourself means you have to be willing to do your due diligence, and you shouldn't just say yes to anything that walks through your door. At least try not to. I know it seems exciting where it's like, oh, my first sponsorship, but truly know your worth and look into them as much as you can. You got to make sure that there's some sort of alignment.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, I'm always very wary about like the email like links that they put in emails and stuff. Because
with all these like scary things about phishing happening to VTubers these days.
Yeah, so like I always try to do my due diligence on like checking the URL of the sender, or like trying to find their LinkedIn profile if I can.
Make sure it's a person who actually works for the company and not just a random person claiming they do.
Yeah, but sometimes it might be like a publisher that's helping a game like distribute keys and things, so also make sure like you check through like, oh, this is like really their publishing company that they're working with, blah blah blah. It's game specific, but like for physical products and stuff, you also have to be careful about providing your physical address to sponsors and stuff. Like, make sure you vet through all of them first before willy-nilly sharing all your personal details.
Yeah, please be careful with
PO
that.
boxes don't really work.
For VTubers, no. Because the problem is, the minute you give a crumb about the area that you live in, people are going to start trying to zero in on every possible thing that's near that PO box address.
Yep. Or unless you have a friend or like, I don't know, a third party company that you can send it over as like a PO box and then they send it to you type of deal. But like, will they go help check whether or not there's trackers and things inside your boxes and stuff? It's more hassle.
It can get kind of icky, so you have to be careful with the IRL like subscription boxes or what have you.
Yeah.
I think that most of the box ones tend to be more careful with that stuff, because I know they do tend to sponsor a lot of VTubers. They must surely have a decent amount of security for that.
Cybersecurity people always
they find a way.
They find a way, but you know, it's everything. Yeah.
I know, like,
is hard though.
Keymailer, which is a service I use a lot for trying to get keys for games, they have an option to like opt in to physical mail.
Oh, interesting.
So like you don't have to do it. Like if you sign up to get keys or to like get opportunities, because you can get paid on there as well if you're willing to like set your rates and stuff, which I have done. I just haven't gotten any paid ones. But I know services like Keymailer prioritize digital keys, but they do have an option where like if you want the perk of the cool physical stuff, you can then add your mailing address, but you don't have to include it in order to be verified on there, which is very nice. I'm not verified on there because I don't want my address shared like that, but
yeah, that's why like, even if kind of tying to like addresses stuff, like Throne, even though it does charge a little bit extra money to the person paying for the item, there's still like a sense of security there where I'm not sharing my address. Though apparently eBay changed that rule, so I have to be careful about that. Or not eBay, Amazon or something.
Yeah, I think that's only if you use an Amazon list, however. Like, if your Amazon list is tied to your Throne, maybe you would be in danger of that. But Amazon list, it has been, they took away the anonymity. So if someone tries to buy something off your list, they'll see where it's shipping to.
That's kind of sus. Okay, yeah.
Fun! So don't use an Amazon list. Stick with Throne. Throne will keep it private.
Yeah.
For now. Again, never fully trust a company.
Yeah, that's so true.
For now, they're trustworthy, but for now, for now, big asterisk. Don't fully subscribe to the narrative. I don't know. Be careful.
Yeah. Oh God. Anything else we want to cover about sponsorships?
It'll help. How do you feel about like having a oh my god, I forget what they're called all the time, even though I want to talk about them. The like the brand, like the I'm sorry, I sound so dumb. Those things, like the splash pages kind of that content creators have, where it's like a picture of them and then like it's a look at like their metrics at a glance.
Yeah.
What are those called?
Media kits. No.
Yes.
Is
media kits.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that is kind of like it's a similar enough concept that I think it works for what we're talking about. Do you have one that you send to sponsors, or like do you just kind of send as requested?
I try. I mean, I'm Sakurako's never sponsoring me. I'm so sad. But like for example, Sakurako, they ask for a media kit once you send an inquiry, so then I just send mine along with it. I have to update it every so often because my numbers change a bit, but
yeah,
it is useful to include like services that you offer, like what kind of videos or streams and how much they cost for like a specific type of video.
Yeah.
So I do send that along. Sometimes they'll ask me for my price listing anyways. So yeah, generally I send it. If I'm cold calling, I will send it. I provide like links and things to all of my socials and things. I also try to highlight like some of my best performing videos and things. But
oh, that's smart.
It's just for their ease to like quickly search through. But I've never, I don't know what I'm missing for that Sakurako sponsorship. I really don't, but we'll see. I've been rejected like 3 times.
No,
Each time they don't really say, so they're like, okay. It's okay.
You'll get there, trust.
It's not like I want your sweets anyways.
Because I know some of the ones I see, they'll mention like I've worked with like these similar brands, or like they'll like list all the brands that they've worked with, and then like, you know, they'll usually have their like corporate bio of like what they do as a content creator, highlights of all the numbers and stuff. If I able to have one similar to a resume, I would suggest keeping it to like 1 page.
One page, yeah. Unless you have a really long list.
Really have that much to say.
Yeah, if you have a long list of like really good sponsors and stuff, then maybe. But
I think keeping it to 1 page is probably smart. VTuber like brand kits, I think, have the benefit too of getting to show off like a pretty artwork.
Yeah.
And like your VTuber logo. It's one of the few places where you can really use your logo that isn't like just like a social media header or whatever. I think about that a lot. Like there was someone I saw who was like, you guys need to use your logos more often considering you commission people to make them fancy. And so this girl mentioned that she uses hers in her email signature, and I was like, that's literally so genius. Why have I never thought to do that? So now I do that.
Wait, hold on a minute. I'm smart enough to use it in my videos. I'm not smart enough to use it in my thing.
Yeah, so now I have a fancy email signature that has my logo first, and then I have my name written out, and then I have my 3 most used platforms, which is currently YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
That's so clever.
That's how my email signature looks.
Yeah. How much would you say you've been cold calling, or is that something that you wish you had more time to do?
I think I could easily make the time to do it, but my problem is like I am constantly anxious about whether or not they would even read the email. I'm just like, would you even bother to look at me? What do I say? Because I still feel like my numbers aren't necessarily like small, but I also just worry that if I were to reach out to try and get an opportunity, that they'd be like, yeah, okay, small fry. You're asking for how much for that? Haha.
That's Sakurako for me. And I'm the fool for who's still trying, am I?
Baby, please, chance. Let me eat them snacks.
Oh my gosh. I've only have good things to say about the 1 box that I have, but I've bought that with my own monies. Actually, no, I think I was gifted
Maybe you should use that. Maybe you should hold the empty box and be like, I ate this. I liked it. Please let me in.
Please let me in.
Baby, you just gotta let me.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe if my hair was Sakura pink instead. No, it's salmon.
Rebrand.
I'm gonna rebrand into no. I'm gonna get sponsorship from salmon instead, so I can have unlimited salmon sushi.
I love that for you. Become a mascot of a sushi restaurant.
Oh my gosh, that'd be kind of cool. Did you see the mascot? Not the mascot, but like some VTuber collab with the kebab place in Japan.
That's so cute. I love that.
Yeah, it's actually really cute. Like the concept of doing like real life collabs with shops, but like also you have to be careful of geolocation shenanigans. But
yeah, you have to be careful about that stuff. I mean, it looks like there's more places that are willing to do collaborations with VTubers in like a digital capacity, like those VTuber made cafes.
Yeah,
and, like
boba stores.
Yeah, boba stores are doing it. I know this isn't the right example, but Fellows just recently did a collab in Texas because they were at a con down there, and so they collabed with a izakaya branch. So you could like get merch, and they had like themed food that you could order at the izakaya, and you could get like a little merch piece if you ordered the food there.
Ine.
Yeah, Ine, wish that were me.
I heard the same thing about Square Enix, like the FanFest.
They're opening up a permanent like
cafe thing, right?
Square Enix Cafe in California, right?
Yeah. I would be down to check that out if I get the chance, but it's in LA, right?
I think for a lot of the yeah, it's like California. Most of these things are in California. It's very rare that they do stuff anywhere else. I think New York is like second place, like second most likely. At least for Japanese brands, I've noticed. Like it's either they want to go to LA or they want to go to New York.
It's really weird because I know that NorCal has a large Japanese population and stuff too. It's not just SoCal, but and Washington as well. I think there's a lot of cherry blossoms there. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to do a local collab in that sense, but maybe not local as in like
not local as in like actually near me. Like I don't want to necessarily do an Onigashima collab. I'm good.
Yeah. No,
but like if it's farther away, that's fine.
Yeah, the only problem is like in Japan you can do collabs. Like a VTuber can do collabs pretty much anywhere in Japan because it's so easy to get to a different place and like the density versus like the landmass. If you're doing it in like North America, for example, getting from like California all the way to the other side, Maine or something like that. Like it's gonna be a hard
too damn big.
Like no, I'm not. There's the Amtrak is that that train thing that goes from one end to the other.
It doesn't even fully go end to end though. Like there's
Which
still like an end point.
And they like share, don't they? Like it shares a rail with like some other. Anyways, the little stupid railroad system. I wish it was improved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not doable. I wish.
But I think that they're trying to make up for it with the digital collaborations, like letting more VTubers like stream in to like be present at events and stuff, especially for the sake of that like security thing. I hope that more places will open up to it. It'd be nice if it wasn't just like anime conventions, like if more, I guess, adjacent businesses, like going back to the boba conversation or an izakaya, I think it'd be cool if more places were open to doing collaborations like that with VTubers, especially as VTubers keep becoming more and more popular. But then you also have the inverse where you have like a VTuber who doesn't live in Japan, like Iron Mouse and Booby getting their collaboration cafe in Japan. So that would also be kind of crazy. Like imagine the first time you get to have a collaboration with a brand and it's in Japan.
Yeah, I would love that. Oh my gosh, the dream. Because I was mentioning this to chat the other day. There's a indie Japanese VTuber that I follow. They are doing a pop-up in Shibuya for their own online like patisserie stuff. So they bake cookies and things, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, they do a physical thing at a physical location. I was just like, man, what are department stores? If only. Do they still exist? Dear Lord. Yeah, I don't think it's as feasible here, but
yeah,
the dream. Well, I mean, we could collab with cars, I guess. Yay.
I don't drive, Lynn. What do I do?
I don't drive either. But we gotta collab with the big car company.
Kaya recently got her license. We'll mooch off of her.
Yeah.
We'll get a Mialun car.
We'll ask her to drive us. No, you see, for the collab picture, she'll be the one. Well, technically I could drive, but I just don't have a car. But like, she could be at the wheel, and then we'll just like, I don't know, I'll chill on top of the roof. You can chill.
I'll be in the passenger seat with the map.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Okay. There we go. Car companies, hi.
Oh my gosh, that'd be such a cute picture.
And you know, fans love a race queen aesthetic.
Oh my gosh, yes, we need race queen outfits for that. Heck yeah. What is with the race queen aesthetic? I see it everywhere now.
I don't know. Men just like not to generalize, men just like seeing a pretty woman in kind of skimpy clothing leaning against a vehicle.
I mean, the newest Overwatch skins, Ramacha, which is technically not a man. Well, he's a robot man, but he's like in dishwasher and gloves and like he's a housewife basically.
So he's doing something domestic. Yeah, he's a male wife aesthetic versus all of the aesthetics that guys tend to like in girl characters.
Yeah,
I see how
and
it
I'm
is.
like, he's so cute.
That's the thing. It works is the problem. Like, we can make fun of the fact that he's dressed up like a male wife, but I'm also just like, oh, that's kind of cute.
That is kind of cute.
He's a robot and he's wearing the gloves so that he won't shock the water. He's trying.
I'm so tempted, but it's $20 freaking for that skin. I don't think I want to pay $20.
Do you play that character enough to justify it? If not, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't even play him, yeah. He is one character I would choose if I had to play tank, but no. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, don't do it then.
Yep.
He will be eye candy. You can look from a distance. Maybe if someone else buys the skin, you can just look at it when you're playing around.
True! I just have to face against someone that plays him. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Ramacha is probably on Lynn's Hear Me Out cake. You have a Hear Me Out cake?
Do I?
Do you?
Well, I guess now I do.
And I guess Ramacha's on there. Okay. Bet.
There we go. I need to find a nice picture of him. Anyways. Let me see. How are we on time?
I'm doing good. I know your window said that you'd probably need to end in like 30.
Yeah, I'm probably wrapping up soon. So, maybe we can go with like our last discussion topic of like, what kind of things do you want to see more VTubers do in this like VTuber space, or like content creators, or something positive to end this stream?
I feel like this stream's been largely positive.
I think so.
I mean, going back to what I said earlier, I really think VTubers need to pivot from seeing this as a genre to using it as a medium. Like, you can diversify your content. Not everybody has to be a streamer. Not everybody has to, like, be a singer either. Like, if you don't feel like you want to post covers, you don't have to. Covers are a big investment, and they can't be monetized, so you don't have to worry about that kind of thing if that's not what you want to do. I think, like, there's an expectation that VTubers have for themselves, but I think also some fans unintentionally place it onto the VTubers to be a certain way. And I think that the biggest thing is that we have to accept that there are going to be people who join this medium and use it for, like, all sorts of things, and we need to be more open to the, like, unique ways that it can be used. Like, there's just so many cool things that you can do as a VTuber with your content that don't have to be the same formula. Not that there's anything wrong with following the formula if it truly brings you joy, but if you think that there's an aspect of content that you feel like you can't do because you're a VTuber, that is not true. You are a VTuber, you make what you want. Anything that you do is going to be VTuber content.
So true. No, because one thing about that is, like, do VTubers want to become VTubers because they see VTuber streamers? Like, is that why the pipeline, or is like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing?
I think so, because of how big all of the VTuber streamers became. Like, the biggest example that everyone thinks of is Hololive EN, right? Like, that's the kind of the blueprint. I love talking. Blueprint for the Western sphere tends to be the streamer pipeline of, like, you stream however many days a week, and then you occasionally post a cover. You sometimes post, like, ASMR.
Yeah.
You sometimes do, like that kind of vibe, and, like, you kind of go down the idol path, and that's kind of the expectation of, like, you're eventually going to get a 3D and do concerts, and that's going to be, like, the bulk of what you do, and then money roll in, money akasupa. And I think that kind of became the pattern, especially because that's where the most people got into VTubers, was during that era. So I think that that's now the expectation. And then conversely, you have some people that were like long-term like IRL creators that then pivoted to using VTuber models. And they kind of already have that knowledge of like, we can just do whatever, we're just adding a model into the mix.
Yeah.
Which I wish was more accepted. Unfortunately, I think that there's a bit of a stigma where like whenever someone who previously did IRL content switches to using a model, where everyone thinks that they're like a poser or that they aren't actually a VTuber.
Yeah.
And that makes me so mad. I'm just like, it's not... It's literally just a medium. We have to stop acting like being a VTuber is this monolith of what HoloLive made it to be.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that kind of reminds me of like how PewDiePie influenced a bunch of people
to do Let's Plays.
To do that
kind of style of like 10-minute edited clip comps, basically, of like playing a silly game. Like those were like the early form of clip comp, I guess. Because a lot of times it was just like not even in chronological order, and it would just kind of just be whatever was the funniest for the bit.
Yeah.
And then it eventually has like reached a point where some Let's Players do it in a more polished way, where it is a little bit more chronological, but there's still like jump cuts between parts that aren't interesting.
Right.
So I don't know. I do think it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where people feel like if they're not presenting their VTuber as like that HoloLive blueprint, maybe they think they're not gonna succeed.
Yeah, because that's like the proven track record, you can say, like
the proven formula. And then small corporations also kind of have that expectation too. I feel like it's rare that you see a small corpo really take a chance on someone that doesn't do the like more vanilla VTuber content.
Yeah, that's why like even for like past experiences and stuff, it's always like, how many hours do you stream a week? How many days you stream?
How many days are you willing to make your content?
Yeah,
there's like an expected minimum.
It's always about streaming. It's not anything about like outside. Like, okay, and then do you want to do stuff outside? Is always like a side question that they put. Yeah.
And they don't even prioritize it really, because in the end, they're still going to be expecting the streams the most.
Yeah, but like, it's I don't know. It's because I for me, I think my tip is always to like diversify.
Diversify your content, diversify your platforms.
Yeah, diversify your revenue. Because it's just, I don't know. I like looking at those numbers, I guess, and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very interesting to look at the numbers overall.
The viewer point of following a VTuber is to watch them stream. That just means that I need to find viewers that want to watch my videos over streaming, right? Like, that's why I say I don't have much crossover between the videos I upload onto YouTube versus like people that pop into my stream. Sometimes I do get like, hey, I watch your long forms. I'm just checking out your stream, saying hello.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure a majority of the people that watch my videos don't drop by my streams and say hello, right? It's a different audience. So, like, even diversifying your audience is probably a good idea, too. Hopefully, they would want to check out your other types of content, but depending on the stuff
that's where
that
we
you're
go back to
providing.
the discussion of, like, are they watching you for your personality versus are they watching you for what you're making? Like, is it the content that they're watching that they like? Are they going to watch your other streams if it's not exactly this? Are they going to watch a different YouTube video if it's on a similar topic but it's not the same one? Or are they just going to want you to do the VTubing in 2026 part 7?
Exactly.
Not to name and shame your most popular videos, but
can that not be my most popular video anymore, dear Lord?
Can't wait for 2027. Let's go 2027.
But realistically, what would have changed in the near future? Who knows? Maybe we'll start to see a more rise in like 3D VTubing. I don't know.
That's so true. And someone else said too, it's easier to go live than to make other kinds of content right away. And I don't discount that. I do think for some people who don't have the skills to like edit videos, or they don't have the patience to sit and edit a video, or to make whatever other kind of content they want to make, I do see that it is easier. But then this is something that I saw from a streamer that I like, who had a real big issue with like streaming a lot and then not knowing what to do with all of the streams, and like losing energy to make edited content. So what they did was they cut down the amount that they streamed like in a week, in a time frame or whatever, and like also reduced the length of them, because then every stream became more intentional, and streams were being done with the intention of then becoming long form versus just streaming to stream. Because if you fall into that trap of like, oh, I can just go live and stream for like 4 hours and then maybe I'll make money, but also at least it's just hit button, yap, then done. But instead that there's less value there. And rather than turning your stream into like a clip farm, so to speak, where you're like purposefully trying to like force moments that are clippable, if you're starting your stream with the intention of knowing it's going to be a edited down video, for example, you can then have more purposeful like discussions. You can kind of know where you want to direct the content. You know where to direct your energy in the game, like how far you want to get in said game. Like if you're playing a roguelike, how many attempts are you going to give it for the video? Like maybe you're going to aim for 10. And then you can also make the stream be like, I only have 10 attempts to complete this game or whatever. And it becomes more usable for the rest of your content without having to like keep it so separate that you have press button, go live time, and then you have to then regain the energy to like film something else. You get what I'm saying? Like you can be more purposeful with the going live so that it isn't always just turning it on and then just hoping something happens or that you can get something out of it. I'm trying to be more mindful with my streams too, to where I feel like I can get more out of what I'm streaming and then use it for the other content that I eventually want to make.
Yeah, like just to tie into that, let's see, you might spend more time outside of streams kind of thinking about these things, but once you go into like a flow, like once you have a process set up, it's much easier to kind of reiterate on that process. Because like for me, I do at least 1 hour of Zatsus before I go into a game, and that 1 hour gets turned into clips, and that's very purposeful. Like I purposely think of I jot like notes about discussion topics that I can potentially turn into clips and things, right? And then within that 1 hour before we start gaming, I try to kind of like drive the conversation in ways where I think would make farmable clips, and then I can play my game. So,
well, that's because for you don't really make content out of what you're gaming. Like the gaming is just like the chill part of the stream. Yes. That's kind of where you can just be like, okay, I'm just live and now I'm chilling. But then like conversely, if you're someone who like does a lot of gaming content and you want to be able to make like highlight reels of your gaming, that's kind of where you have to be more intentional with like what you're doing in the game. I was scolded about this a lot when I was corporate. The whole like, it's nice that you're streaming a game, but like, what are you gonna do while you're gaming? Like, what about it's gonna make it like interesting? What's gonna make people want to click on this? So that is kind of something you have to think about if you're wanting your gaming to be more of your content.
Yeah. Actually, my next video coming up is a video highlight of a game that I recently played. I don't know if it's any good, but you know, it's my first attempt into making a video. I don't expect it to be like stellar star, blah blah blah, but I have points to improve on already for the next time I plan on making something into a long form content.
Another JRPG, you know? Yeah, we don't have to point that part out.
Another Yakuza game, huh? another chapter, huh? Dear Lord, I was almost done. Just let me finish it. Oh my gosh, it's only like two more streams, if anything. Lynn tries to win 10 Overwatch matches in a row. It's more like, and then the video comes out, it's me losing 10 matches in a row. I hate the MMR system right now. Dear Lord. Is it about dungeon crawler? Maybe. Might be.
Sneaky peeky.
But it's a very, very different type of editing process, I would say.
Yeah.
So takes time to experiment.
I've noticed too, I think like I brought this up again when it came to like studying other creators outside of VTubers. VTubers have like a aesthetic to their edits, don't they? Where like they prioritize certain things. It's kind of like we joke about it, but it's like the jingling of the keys to keep people's attention. I personally feel like VTuber edits tend to be more over the top in that way than I feel some other creators are.
Well,
at least like maybe more established ones, but
it's probably because all the editors reference each other in a sense, right? Because like when a VTuber commissions a video editor, they're like, I want my clips to look like this. And then the editor goes in and is like, okay, I'll make it look like this. And then they're like, oh, I like it this way. And then they upload it and someone else sees it. It's like, oh, wow, I want to make my edits look like that.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes into like a endless loop of everyone copying each other. And it's like an Ouroboros of video editing styles until it's all just one thing.
It's one thing, yeah. That's why I look at videos outside like, oh, I want my videos to look like this. My
Ouroboros, which makes it feel a little bit more unique in my opinion.
It's a little bit longer, yeah. What if someone's more like a singer karaoke streamer? Oh, like the way you want to prepare your content around that stuff? I feel like if you are a VTuber, V-singer, like, yeah, you would be planning your karaoke streams, but you can also plan concepts or ideas around, like, singing and stuff, right?
You could do streams more about technique, for example, if you're someone who's professionally trained. You would then probably want your karaoke streams to have themes to them occasionally, like not just a I sing whenever I want stream.
You can also do like, challenges, too.
Yeah, you could do, like, an endurance stream for how many songs you could sing in a thing. I know some people will sometimes do like a record a cover with me stream where they'll do the recording process live. And then your goal is primarily to like focus on releasing your music, you know, like you're going to want to release music at least every other week if you can help it. And then most of your streams should be karaoke because the problem with the music niche is the minute you leave the music niche, it's going to be very hard to get back in there.
Yep. And you can't, the worst thing now is like you can't even post any like stuff on Twitter, right? Specifically for Japanese music.
Yeah, the Japanese music V-singer scene is currently in the trenches with all of the issues with JazzRack and the fact that Twitter didn't renew their
licensing agreement.
They didn't renew their contract in order to be able to still post songs that are licensed under JazzRack, which is where most Japanese music is filed under for copyright and usage. So now you're seeing more people posting muted videos for like their promotional stuff for like covers and things because they can't post actual music anymore because they could literally get like a takedown.
Yeah, they can't even
their account.
Like you could, for an example that you could use for additional content is like progress clips and things, right? For sharing into social media. You can't do that anymore on Twitter.
Because you can't have the song.
No lyrics, no anything. So, yay, that's fun.
Yippee! I love platforms. I love Twitter.
Well, I don't know how much Twitter. Yeah, I don't know how useful Twitter is to get people to go into your YouTube channel to listen, or like Spotify to listen to your music. I don't even know how Spotify works. I only have one song up on Spotify, so maybe that's why. But
yeah, the Spotify distribution for Season I didn't really touch. Luckily, Kaya was familiar with it, so she handled all that for us, and I was like, okay, yippee, yay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how like discovery works for Spotify, but yeah, distribution, apparently prices are up everywhere, so if you do a lot of
the places that claim that they can do mass distribution are kind of predatory and icky.
So just make sure you're kind of researching around because there are quite a lot of options. But yeah, it's also for a V-singer, if you are doing karaoke's and things, make sure where you source your karaoke, they allow you to use it for live streaming.
Yeah, because there's like some pretty notable channels that offer karaoke videos, but you can't actually sing along to those during your stream. You could get bonked.
Or you have to pay.
You have to pay if you want to use them.
Yeah. Just because you are monetized. Yep.
Yucky.
Yuppies. So that's another thing. It's like maybe I should start a new channel so I'm not monetized and so I can use that.
Yeah, and then just never monetize it.
Yeah. No, but I think one of them said that if you meet the clear requirements for monetization, even if you don't accept the monetization agreement and things for the channel, you still have to pay the licensing fee.
That's so yucky.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Everyone's starting to monetize this year. It's fun.
Yippee.
We're supposed to end on a good note. Okay, let me see. I'm looking forward to just more experimentations outside. Yeah. 3D VTubing. Yeah, 3D VTubing is indeed getting cheaper, but I think it always has been quite cheap in the sense that there are alternatives to like custom models and things, but there's a lot more tech getting developed for 3D VTubing right now. So if you're interested in like that stuff,
so you don't necessarily have to go to a studio to do 3D stuff anymore.
Yeah,
it looks like the options are getting a little better. It's funny that like Live 2D started as like the cheaper alternative to getting a 3D model, but now it feels like Live 2D is the more expensive one.
Oh yeah, yep. I was like looking at modeling prices and stuff just in general. I feel like I don't think the prices have gone up over time. It's just that more notable artists and riggers have been just popping up more.
That's true. I think a lot of it tends to be based off of like popularity of artist / rigger. Like the prices will start going up the more they get requested for stuff. And I know at least on the JP side they charge based on their follower count. So like as like follower count kind of scales with pricing over there. At least that's what I was told. So if you're looking at someone who has a pretty decently sized following, you got to be ready to pay a pretty penny. But even if you get to like 10k followers, it gets a little expensive. So if it's like 10k or less, they tend to charge, I don't want to say affordable, I don't know what budget y'all are working with, but if you're looking for something on the cheaper end, that's where you start looking for the smaller artists. Yeah, but it depends really nice too, because like my gems. Mama has like close to 200k, but my price I felt was still pretty fair.
Oh, okay. Would you ever try using your 3D model for MMDs? I've done it before. It's pretty simple. Nowadays
you
get
your model like rigged to, or not rigged, but like adjusted to work with MMD. I know you have to do that with like Wadodo and stuff too.
Yeah, for Wadodo, it's pretty one-to-one. You can just drop in the MMD file and see if your model just works out of the box. Sometimes some limbs will fly in incorrect places. You might have a broken ankle or two, but if you're doing like a short or something, you can always hide the ankles. You shan't see my dainty broken lankles. Yes,
lankles.
My lankles. The troublesome part for MMD is finding the files, the dance files.
Yeah, they used to be more widely available, but I feel like it's been harder to find them.
Mm-hmm. And most of it is also locked behind like Patreon or stuff. Because it is quite a niche ability to make MMD dances.
Oh yeah, when I think about the idea of trying to make an MMD like from scratch, like the dance file in order to use the model, I feel like I would die.
Personal experience, 3D models are only a bit cheaper than Live 2D, but you have to make sure your hardware can even handle all the 3D model. You also have to, I think I'm actually making a video about 3D models, not free ones, but like if you are looking for a 3D model, you should be be knowledgeable in what you're looking for specifically, because 3D models can be anything. There's different file formats, there's different shaders, there's different what else? Facial tracking and things. And if you have a certain purpose that you want to use 3D models for, make sure you ask that the artist knows how to prepare your files properly. Otherwise, you'll be on the hook to learn how to change it from one to another file. So, fun stuff. I should write that video.
You should. I would pay attention to that. I have to figure out stuff for a 3D model in the future.
I'm playing around with Unity right now, just like testing a few things, and I updated Blender from 5.0 to 5.2. Yay!
Whoa!
So yeah, that's gonna
Are you learning how to make a donut?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to make the donut. I'm gonna make hair.
Even more fun.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Yippee! No, that donut. I have been so adamant about not making that donut from that person. Like, why donut? If anything, I want to make something that I want to use. So, humph. So it's hair. Hair. There is there's a very specific way you're supposed to do 3D VTubing hair. So, everything looks like an aloe vera leaf.
Oh,
that's a pro tip.
fascinating.
Yeah. I'll share my progress. I'm interested in learning a little bit more about 3D stuff. So yeah.
Yippee!
Environments and things, and maybe I can share it with you too, Yuna-chan. Once I figure out how to do environments, it's the end. It's the end for you all. Oh. But yeah, let me see. Let's wrap up here. I think this is a good stopping point. Let me go prep the raids. I don't know who's live right now. And then we can do our goodbye greetings. I mean, is that a greeting? Farewells?
I think it's called a farewell greeting. It could also just be called a farewell.
Sayonara means like I'll never see you again.
See you later, suckers.
That would be.
We're out of here.
All right, it's Mamie's like birthday week this week, I think.
Yeah.
Let's raid over there. Do you have any announcements or things you want to share?
Not really announcements. I have more streams this week. You'll see me Thursday. I forget what stream I'm doing first, but that is the next time I will be streaming. That's it. I don't got anything else.
Let me see. What do I have? I'm also streaming on Thursday, I think. Tomorrow! TBD of tomorrow. Like, the new Overwatch event kind of sucks, so I don't know if I want to...
That's fair.
Yeah, not much other than I will be streaming both sites as well on Thursdays. Usually I raid into Yuno-chan afterwards anyways.
Because I'm usually live then by... Yeah.
Let me see. On YouTube, let's raid into Lumiel, who just debuted this weekend.
Oh.
From Takara Live. Let me see. Okay, yes. So I think that marks the end of today's stream. Thank you so much, for this comfy Zatsu. We've gotten through a lot of the topics. Hopefully I can condense it down, make it easier for some not VOD watchers, but like video YouTube watchers.
Yeah, we should do this again sometime, though. I love picking your brain about this stuff.
Heck yeah, I'm down. We could do it with our devious idea of one per person per channel.
A nightmare for all viewers.
Yes, and a nightmare for us too, trying to align everything. But that'll be funny. Yep. Let me see. Other than that, I think I will wrap up here for today. Thank you everyone for coming by if you have any more questions and stuff, feel free to drop it down in the YouTube description box. We can probably cover it next time we have a chat like this. So
yeah, it'd be fun to do one where we actually take questions beforehand and answer them that way.
yeah, now that we have a piece of example, maybe people would be more inclined to drop more questions. Heck yeah. Other than that, I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Bye bye.
Bye bye.